Hello everyone, this is Termes, and today I'm picking up where I left off in my stream of True Literature Club, the mod that I made 5 years ago as of yesterday for Doki Doki Literature Club. Yes, it's me continuing the 5th anniversary stream. I can't believe it's been 5 years since I made this thing, wow. I know I keep saying that, but time really flies, eh? Anyway, yeah, without further ado, I'll just pick up where I left off. We just finished doing the Sayori Natsuki and Yuri routes, and finally there's a Monika route. Um, these are kind of all controversial. Monika's was it had some issues. You'll see. Well, I guess I should probably be helping Monika. Yay, you picked me. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, Monika, you're the one who needs the least help out of all of us. Eh? But... Oh hey! BG Sweet, welcome back! Welcome to the stream. Monika time, yeah indeed. And Marcy, hey! Welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, yeah, and Monika time indeed. Here we go. But... I agree with Natsuki. Not only is your work already most suitable for one person, but you already have Sayori as well. But Tormius is the one who, That doesn't matter. You're the one who scared him into picking you in the first place. You're the club president, Monika. You're supposed to make responsible decisions for the club. Monika, you shouldn't let any ulterior motives interfere with this decision. Yeah, DTLC, yeah. Obviously this dialogue is same as the original so far. We'll get to the new stuff very soon. Ulterior motives? What are you saying, Yuri? In fact, it sounds like you guys are the ones with ulterior motives. Excuse me? Otherwise, this wouldn't have been made into such a big deal in the first place. That's completely false, Monika. Yeah, we have a lot of work to do, you know. We won't do as good a job if you make us work alone. Maybe that's true. Think of the club, Monika. If we want our event to succeed, then we need to appropriately distribute our resources. Fine, fine. It's clearly very important to the two of you to get help with your part of the festival. Yeah, this is the part that's new. I have to make an excuse for the Monika route to go through anyway. So here's what we'll do. Yuri, Natsuki, I will personally be helping each of you in turn tomorrow. We should be able to finish Natsuki's cupcakes and Yuri's decorations if we budget our time properly. Yuri and Natsuki look at each other in surprise. This clearly isn't the resolution they were hoping for. That's... But what about Termius? He'll be helping me out on Sunday. It'll be a busy weekend for me, but I'm sure I can manage it. That should address all of your complaints about making responsible decisions for the club. And let's not have any more talk of ulterior motives. Yuri and Natsuki still look uncomfortable, but seem uncertain what to say. But why do you want to spend time with Termius so much anyway? Well, I had hoped it could be a surprise for the festival, but I have a project I'm working on that could really use Tormius' help. A project? What kind of project? You'll see. I'd still like to have some surprises in store. So now that our resources are distributed properly, I trust there are no further objections? Good. Then I think that's all for today. I know that everyone here will do their best to make the festival a resounding success. An uncomfortable silence hangs in the air as everyone leaves for the day. I start to head out the door behind Yuri and Natsuki when Monika stops me. Going somewhere? Well, that was exciting, wasn't it? Suddenly finding myself alone with Monika makes my heart beat faster. Yeah, that was a little unexpected. I thought we should take a moment to discuss our plans for Sunday. And as much fun as it would be to try to track you down, it would probably be easier if we exchanged phone numbers now. Oh, right, sorry, I was a bit distracted. Things got a bit weird back there. That's alright. Don't worry about Yuri and Natsuki. I'll handle them. Once we've exchanged phone numbers, I can't help but think how unreal this is. I've known Monika for over a year, but somehow I never imagined I would have the class star's phone number. Yeah, so obviously I'm continuing the theme of MC almost walking out the door while forgetting to exchange phone numbers. Also, I kind of like Monika's little playful, it would be fun to try to track you down, but maybe we should... Yeah, also continuing, shoot, what was I going to say? Anyway, The whole game basically talks up Monika in the original game. I mean, so I'm trying to continue that theme as well. Anyway, moving on. So I'm thinking I'll meet you at your place and we'll go from there. My place? Is there a problem? No, that's fine. I'll have to remember to clean my room when I get back home. Hey, Slay Rabbit, welcome to the stream. Finishing up the Monika route now. What am I thinking? I'm not going to be bringing Monika into my bedroom, am I? Easy there, don't need to look so anxious. Sorry, I'm just a little nervous about what we're going to be doing. I mean, you said you will be working on a surprise project or something? Well, believe me, I would love to fill you in on the details, but something I want to take my time with, so I hope you don't mind if we hold off until then. Sure, if you think that's best. Good, I'm looking forward to it. See you on Sunday. Yeah, this is me trying to build up the suspense of what's going to happen. I can't believe it. Monika's coming to my house. I don't think I've ever been this anxious. She even said she's looking forward to it. I feel dizzy and lightheaded from exhilaration all the way home. I hope I can remain calm enough to not embarrass myself in front of her. In any case, I can't wait. Sunday can't come soon enough. Will you be doing the same for Storm, or is this a one-off due to TLC being your first mod? Oh, I don't know. It just seemed like the thing to do because, 5-year anniversary. It just seemed like, I don't know, a special occasion. I mean, maybe when I hit the 5-year mark for Storm or Sirius' New to Suicide or any of those other mods, maybe. I see how I feel when it gets closer to that time, I suppose. You're a ghost? Okay then. Ooh. So I see. Alright, moving right along. It's Sunday already. I haven't gotten any less anxious about Monika coming over. It all still very surreal. I hear the doorbell and my heart skips a beat. Hey, Tormuse. Oh yeah, she's in her uniform. At the time this was released, basically the only casual outfit was that Oktoberfest thing you see in the original Brand New Day mod, or in like the normal visual novel, like some of those early mods. Yeah, no casual outfit for Monika here. This mod has almost no new art in it. I'm just getting excited about Monika coming over. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Hey, Tormuse. Hey, Monika? What's with the school uniform? I'm not sure what I expected her to be wearing, but it seems odd that she would be in uniform outside of school. Can't help feeling a little disappointed. Well, that will become clear soon enough. Yeah, I shouldn't have any catch-ups at the time, exactly. Well, yeah, I mean, she had one that was... is kind of crude. Although, with all due respect to the artist who created it, I mean, it didn't fit with the art style of DDLC overall. Like it stands out. Like it just looked off. Anyway, moving on. Come on, let's go for a walk. A walk? Where are we going? Someplace special. Just joking. We need to print out the pamphlet, silly. I know just the place to do it. Okay, lead the way. We walk along the street in silence for a few minutes. This shouldn't be so strange and nerve-wracking for me. After all, we're just two people walking to a coffee shop, right? I'm still wondering about what she has planned today. Plus, there was something ominous in her tone when she mentioned it at school. Maybe I'm overthinking things. I try to put it from my mind. It's good to see you enjoying your time in the literature club. Well, yeah, I mean, sure, I was reluctant to join at first, but you could say it's really grown on me. I'm glad. And I'm really glad that you're getting along with everyone else in the club. That's what's most important to me. It's quite gratifying seeing new friendships being formed, you know? Yeah, I guess I can see that. Have you had the chance to do any reading in the past few days? Well, I read some of that book that Yuri gave me. It's kind of dark, but I guess that's to be expected. It's still pretty enjoyable to read. Oh yes, Portrait of something. That's a nod to her line in the Act 3 where she refers to the book as Portrait of something. Portrait of Markov. Right. Yuri doesn't talk much, but she seems really enthusiastic about that particular book. I keep telling myself I should check it out someday to see what all the fuss is about. I haven't read a lot of it yet, but it looks like it's building up to something really good. Like there are hints that the eye symbol on the front cover is going to play a strong role. Curious to see where it goes. Eye book, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's That's sort of a nod to all the fan theories about the around the third eye thing. So anyway, I'm curious to see where it goes. And I mumble uncertainly, I may have looked at some of Natsuki's manga. There's no need to feel embarrassed about that. As Natsuki would say, manga is literature. It's the one about baking, right? Parfait girls? I feel relieved that manga isn't making fun of me for it. Yeah, it's actually better written than I expected. To be honest, at first I was put off by the cover. Those pink pastel colors and all the brightly smiling schoolgirls. It's almost aggressively cute, you could say. Just like Natsuki, right? Yeah. That's how it starts, but you quickly see there's more to each of the characters than it first appears, and it gets really good later on. Monika gives me a bemused look. How much of it have you read exactly? Yeah, there's that word bemused again. I think I conflated the word bemused with amused. I sort of meant to say that she was amused that he's said he's into the manga, but it sort of still works here because bemused means confused. Oh well. But yeah, I mean, obviously, Parfait Girls is sort of it's sort of analogous to DDLC itself. But anyway, moving on. How much have you read it? Have you read again? I mean, well, I flipped ahead to a later issue to see where the story was going. It looks like it's got some pretty cool fourth wall breaking moments later on. And now I wish I hadn't spoiled it because I think it would have been a lot more fun to be surprised. I'm pretty sure there's artwork or something like that for Perfect Girls, unless it's from a mod and not the fan base game, not the base game. I'm not aware of any like canon art about Parfait Girls. I'm sure there's plenty of fan art for it, but yeah, yeah. I wouldn't. I can't. I'm trying to remember. I can't. I don't think I've seen. I don't know. I might have seen Parfait Girl art at some point, but I don't recall specifically. Would have been from a mod in that case. Yeah, probably. The Natsuki Nendoroid, right? Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, moving on. Now I wish I hadn't spoiled it because I think it would have been a lot more fun to be surprised. Breaking the fourth wall can be a questionable tactic while writing a story. It can easily kill the mood if it's done poorly. But if it's done properly, it can be amazing. For example, if it's a comedy, it can help highlight the absurdity of the character's situation. Or if it's horror, it can create the uncomfortable feeling that something isn't quite right in the character's world. Personally, I think it's best if the writer drops subtle hints that the characters are self-aware without outright saying it. Not at first, at least. That way it leaves things up to the player's imagination. I mean, the reader's imagination. That was a weird slip of the tongue. I don't know why I said that. Anyway... It's good that you've embraced such a wide variety of writing styles. Yeah, I mean, I think it speaks for itself. This is like, I like this little bit here was I added later. Like when I started writing this route, I hadn't decided yet if Monika was going to be self-aware, or was her issue was going to be something completely different, and it was going to be just a completely different plot line. But yeah, obviously, this is sort of for like the first hint that she's aware it's a game and all that. And obviously, this is just me being meta here. Gotta go. Have a good evening. Okay. Well, you have a good one, Mercy. Thanks for stopping by. It really looks like you're getting into the spirit of the literature club. I suddenly become conscious of how familiar the path is that we're on, because I walk this way every day. I don't think we're heading to a copy shop. Monika, are we going to the school? That's right. Why? It's where we're going to be printing out the pamphlets. Also, I've got a surprise for you. Oh, of course, the surprise project. I guess it makes sense to do it at school if it's for the festival. Uh-huh, you'll see. That's a little vaguely evasive look on her face there. As we approach the school, Monika produces a set of keys. She selects one from the set and uses it to unlock the front door. This seems a little odd to me. Why does she have keys to the school? let's say it's one of the perks of being president. That's, again, that's another nod to the fact that, you know, the whole self-awareness coming with the president role and so on. Anyway, Monika winks at me as she goes inside, holding the door open for me. We had, if new art had existed, I probably would have put a winking sprite in there. Yeah, basically all of the art in this is base game art. For me, I've written Monika as self-aware, though I did an overhaul for it. Oh, okay, that's neat. Moving on. I hesitate to enter. It feels really strange that there's no one around either inside or outside the school. There's nothing to be scared of. Come on. Monika smiles sweetly at me. I reluctantly follow her inside. Yeah, generally, I'm basically trying to generate suspense and create this ominous feeling throughout the scene here. It's gonna continue to build as it goes along. I understand you got to work with what you have available. Yeah. It's eerily quiet. I've never seen the school as empty before. We walk down the hallway together. Monika has a cheerful spring in her step as she walks. Where are we going? Our first stop is the school library. Are you sure this is okay? This feels really weird. Oh, you worry too much. I come here all the time. Every school day I'm always surrounded by people. Everyone wants my attention because I'm popular. It's exhausting. So I find it cathartic to be able to walk around here on weekends. It's a liberating feeling to be able to wander these halls with no one to bother me. It also gives me the chance to practice the piano undisturbed. She flashes me another smile. As we reach the library, Monika pulls out the set of keys again. She selects a different one and uses it to unlock the library door. What about those keys, though? How'd you get them? I got them from a teacher. I promise it's okay. Monika turns on a library computer that's connected to the printer. She pulls out a flash drive and plugs it into the computer. This flash drive has the finished pamphlet that Sarah sent me. It's all ready to print. I still feel uneasy about all this. Something about it just doesn't add up. They don't give school keys to students just because they're club presidents, Monika. Well, if you must know, it's all about knowing who to approach and how to approach them. Everyone sees me as this popular class star student, so none of the teachers ever suspect that I'm up to something. Monika winks. One day I told Mr. Renier that I needed supplies for my club as he was heading out for the day. Well, have you done with her route? Cool, thanks. And the name Renier, it comes from one of the It was one of those Third Eye files that one of those Easter eggs from the original game. There's a Dr. Renier mentioned, so I just borrowed that name for this. Yeah, I mean he's it's sort of implied that he's some kind of sinister character in whatever the other story is that Dan Salvato is working on that the Third Eyes are references are referring to. Yeah, I my original idea for Monica's route was that she's going to have a criminal record. So I was kind of hinting that she is not as such a good girl as she pretends to be, and she's got this rule breaking streak in her or something. So I was sort of I sort of building up to it. Like when I was writing this originally, like I hadn't I hadn't decided yet that she was going to be self-aware after all. But yeah. Moving right along. And I persuaded him to let me borrow his keys so I could get what I needed from his room. I returned his keys when I was done with them, of course, but not before I stepped out to the locksmith to get all of them copied. He still doesn't know I did it. This is really unexpected. I'm seeing a whole other side of Monika that I didn't know existed. And it sounds like no one else knows either. I wonder why she's sharing this with me. He really just gave you his keys, just like that? Well, all I have to do is give him a sweet smile and and he'll pretty much give me whatever I want. I think he's got a thing for little girls in school uniforms. Between you and me, he's a bit of a perv. In fact, I make sure to warn the other girls away from him. Oh boy, this didn't age well. You're lucky you don't have to worry about that sort of thing from him because you're a guy. I consider reporting him from time to time, but still, I can't deny that he has his uses. Monika smiles again. Yeah, yep, that didn't age well. That didn't age well at all. um, yeah, I don't know. I feel icky that I wrote that in there, to be honest. Like even at the time before all the stuff about Carl last or 2 years ago. Oh wow, it was 2 years ago. Man. Um, just about to say the same. It didn't age well at all. Foreshadowing. Yeah. Yep. And you know that's do not have to worry about that sort of thing because you're a guy. I mean that's not exactly true. I mean being male doesn't make you immune to like sexual harassment or sexual abuse or whatever. Um, but you know, and anyone from all walks of life can be like abusers or abused. Just want to put that out there. Oh, geez, I guess I should put another content warning on this thing. um, anyway, moving right along. Monika smiles again. I think it's the same smile she always shows, but somehow it looks more mischievous than I remember. She turns back to the computer to load up the pamphlet and starts printing them out. A lot of what she's saying makes me uneasy, and not just what I learned about one of our teachers. What have I gotten myself into by coming here? Sounds like we're breaking all kinds of school rules. So basically we're not supposed to be here. Aren't you worried about getting caught? No. And you shouldn't either. No one is going to show up, and even if they do, I'm well known enough that anyone who sees us will assume I have some kind of official business here. They won't question it, especially with the festival coming up tomorrow. And besides, my uniform makes it pretty clear that I belong here, so it helps my credibility. Huh. Guess Monika really has thought this through. Never imagined that she could be so devious. I'm still reeling from everything she's told me. If this was another story, she could be a supervillain or something. Haha, meta. Once the pamphlets are finished printing, she picks up the stack of papers. Each pamphlet is several pages, so they'll need to be folded together. She grabs her flash drive, turns off the computer, and goes back into the hallway. Come along, we've got one more stop to make. Yeah, again, I made the comment in yesterday's stream that she's a smart girl, yeah. I made the comment that it's too wordy. Like, all these details are necessary. I mean, there are a number of lines in here that I could easily have cut out and they would not be missed. Like, she grabs her flashlight, turns on the computer, goes back to, like, why did I write? Like, what? I don't need to write all that. Like, I just say we go back to the hallway. Like, it's going to be understood that she did all that stuff, you know? Anyway, moving right along. Come along, we've got one more stop to make. I follow along, trying to hide my exasperation. Where are we going now? Well, these pamphlets aren't going to fold themselves. Remember that line. I know just the place where we can sit down and do that. I'm still not comfortable with all of this. Oh, come on, Tormuse. Where's your sense of adventure? This is fun. It's exciting. Why can't you be excited too? Don't you ever feel like doing something a little rebellious? Do the same for a scene about filling a vase with water and putting flowers in it? Oh, yeah. It's around 2 or 3 lines from what I remember. Yeah. I mean, you know, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Like, when it comes to writing, like, it is important to have, like, those moments of, you know, connective tissue, connecting scenes together, so it isn't so jarring when just you know, the characters just jump from one place to another. You know, you need to have moments to slow down, but there's a line. There, you don't. It's ultimately, well, okay. I've seen it go both ways. I've seen things that are overly wordy and some that are like not wordy enough, where it just goes scene change, scene change, scene change, and like one line in each, and I'm like, what's happening? So sometimes you do have to take moments to slow down. Yeah, I obviously I'm on the side of being too wordy. So oops. Anyway, moving right along. I'm fine doing fun and exciting things, but we don't have to break the rules to do it. We're not hurting anyone in Tormuse. Nothing bad is going to happen. Honestly, this line of conversation is getting tiresome. Oh, Monika's starting to get impatient now. Yeah, this line is her mask starting to slip here. This is this whole thing, like basically her whole route here, this whole scene is just it's a gradual slide to getting more and more dark and ominous, and yeah, it's just it was fun to write for that reason. I just liked that sort of gradual slide. Um, anyway, moving right along. And frankly, I'm a bit disappointed in you. I had hoped you could share my excitement of having this time alone together. But I suppose it's understandable. It's my fault for making too many assumptions about you and your personality. I'll tell you what. Monika pulls out her keys again as we approach the music room. Let me show you just one thing in here. After that, you can leave and do whatever you want. You can even go report my rule breaking to the teachers, though I'm pretty confident that you won't, after you see this. She unlocks the door and opens it. I hesitate again, more uncertain than ever. This just feels wrong. There was a time when I would have done anything to spend time alone with Monika, but it's very clear now that I really know nothing about her, and something tells me I should just walk away. Monika seems saddened by my hesitation. Please, Termius, this is really the only thing I brought you here for. Obviously, I didn't actually need your help to print and fold pamphlets. I promise this will be of interest to you. Just give me 5 minutes of your time. Just 5 minutes? What can she show me in 5 minutes? I suppose it couldn't hurt to stick around a little longer. And I can't help but feel a bit guilty seeing the dejected look on her face. Okay, 5 minutes. Monika instantly brightens up again. You won't regret it. Yeah, you know, as much as I complain about my early work, I do like the build-up in this scene here. I like, as much as, I basically wrote MC's character as, he basically just reacts to whatever's in front of him, like, constantly. He doesn't have a lot of individual personality, but, this building discomfort, I find, like, I don't know, I just find it an interesting direction to go in. MC would have been like, alright then, I'm fair game. Sure. Moving right along. She enters the music room and I follow. It's a little dark in here. It's as eerily quiet as the rest of the school. All the chairs are stacked up against the wall. The only other furniture is the teacher's desk and a piano in the corner. Monika gestures for me to take a seat at the desk and she pulls up a chair on the other side. Well now. Yeah, so obviously this is the, you know, the space classroom from Act 3. And this background behind that is actually, there's an unused background in the original DDLC, and I put that back there. I had to change the offset a little to make it so that the foliage is in the window. But I think it works pretty well. Anyway. Well now, I had been hoping to play a song for you on the piano, but now that we seem to be pressed for time, I suppose we should just skip that. Monika sets a stack of pamphlets on the side of the desk. Don't worry about the pamphlets for now, we have some things to talk about. Didn't you say you had something to show me? I'm getting to that. First of all, I want to say I'm sorry for being a little irritable. This afternoon hasn't gone exactly as I'd hoped it would. It's my fault, really. I can't blame you. I should have set more reasonable expectations. And I guess I can't blame you for wanting to follow the rules, either. I just wanted us to have some alone time to talk. But it shouldn't have been at the expense of your comfort. So, for that, I'm sorry. Yes, well, I stammer awkwardly. It would have been nice if you had at least let me know what was going on. My whole time here has been really weird and uncomfortable. I'm super sorry. I'll make it up to you, okay? That line, I'm super sorry, I'll make it up to you, okay, those are her exact lines at the end of Act 2. Before she deletes everything. Fun fact. Anyway. This is all a reminder that I'm not that great of a people person. Organizing events and committees is one thing, but dealing with people is not one of my strengths. It does seem to be yours, though. Me? I can hardly believe she's saying this. I've spent years keeping to myself. How could you think I'm good with people? You didn't see what the club was like before you joined. Yuri and Natsuki would fight all the time, and Sayori was always so gloomy. Sayori? Gloomy? You're kidding, right? She's like the happiest person I know. Hmm? Within? Is that a... sorry, was something a reference to the Within mod? Or I feel like I'm missing something there. Anyway, moving on. She's like the happiest person I know. Well, like I said the other day, that only seems to be when you're around. The mod Within has so much Britisms? Oh, okay. I haven't played that one yet. It does seem to be a popular mod. I keep seeing references it around the community whenever I lurk there. Anyway, moving on. You really don't see it, do you? The positive effect you have on people? Well, I suppose in Sayori's case it makes sense, since you've known each other for a long time, but you also have to look at Yuri and Natsuki. They're like oil and water. Their personalities are like polar opposites of each other. I wouldn't have imagined them ever getting along, but somehow, within a few days of you joining the club, there they are, talking amiably. Well, when they're not fighting over you, anyway. I've seen how you interact with them. You're very diplomatic. As for me, I love literature. Writing is a beautiful extension of the innermost part of our souls, and I wanted to share that with others. And when I started the club, I thought that would be enough to keep it together. But it's becoming increasingly clear that I just don't have the people skills to lead people properly. And I think you do. Anyone who can make both Yuri and Natsuki smile in the same day is way beyond anything I could hope to accomplish. So with that in mind, I was wondering if you'd be interested in taking on more of a leadership role in the club. Hang on a second, I just want to take the sweater off here. It's actually surprisingly warm out today. It went up to 12 degrees, which is pretty nice. I guess spring is finally here. Moving on. What is Monika asking me? How would you like to be my new vice president? What? You can't be serious. What if I am? I don't know how many more surprises I can take today. This makes no sense. I've only been in the club a few days. Still, I find myself imagining what it would be like. Working side by side with Monika every day? My heart leaps a little at the thought. And yet, I have a strange feeling of trepidation. Before today, this would have seemed like some distant fantasy, something wonderful that I could never attain, but now, I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know if I trust Monika anymore. And besides, if I become vice president, then doesn't that mean... What about Sayori? Wouldn't I be pushing her out of her position as vice president? Yes. That wouldn't be very nice for her, would it? She's been doing a very good job in that role. Don't underestimate her. So it wouldn't be at all fair to kick her out. In fact, I have a better idea. How'd you like to be president? What? I wish you could see your face right now. I didn't know your eyes could get that wide. Reference to anime characters always having big eyes. Anyway, this is ridiculous. I'm not even that into literature. You can't just hand over leadership of the club like that. You're probably right. It was just an idea. Anyway, it was worth it to see your reaction. But in all seriousness, I've been giving a lot of thought to stepping down from my role as president. As much as I love the literature club, it's kind of taken on a life of its own lately. I'd still like to be a part of it, but I've come to decide that the future of the club should be left in the hands of its members. It doesn't need me leading it. And if I'm no longer president, it will give me more time to focus on other things. Or rather, other people. Well, one person in particular. Is she talking about who I think she's talking about? Could the rumors be true? Are you talking about your boyfriend? Yeah. Earlier in the original game, keep in mind that this is all taking place at the end of the original game's Act 1, and there is a conversation about Monika supposedly having a boyfriend. When Monika's out of the room. So, here, just continuing on from that. No, I don't have a boyfriend. Oh, sorry, I mean, Sayori seemed to think you have a boyfriend. Well, I'll have to have a word with Sayori about spreading rumors. I like that line for what it foreshadows for later. Anyway, moving on. The truth is, I have a girlfriend. I I think I just become numb from surprise at this point. You're funny. I'm enjoying watching your reactions. Sorry, I don't mean any disrespect, but your experience is so limited that it's surprisingly easy to blow your mind. I haven't even gotten to the good part yet. Sorry, I'm just surprised. I mean, you just never considered it before, right? I guess not? Well, that's to be expected, I suppose. Oh, here's where Monika starts to get up on her soapbox and act as my mouthpiece in this mod. Um, okay, it's been a long time since I played this. Hopefully, it isn't too cringy. Here we go. Our society tends to assume that everyone is heterosexual until proven otherwise. You mean straight? Well, yes. I've always hated that word, though. I mean, if other people are straight, does that mean I'm crooked? That sounds vaguely insulting. Sorry, I guess I never thought of it that way. Again, it's not your fault. It's just a product of the society we all grew up in. Everyone is obsessed with the idea of being normal. No one wants to be seen as different or weird, but really, what is normal? We live in such a diverse world with so many different kinds of people who are different in every conceivable way. Different cultures, different careers, different hobbies and interests, different families and friends who shape our lives, different sexual orientations. So many differences. How can we call any one thing normal? And yet you see this obsession with normalcy everywhere. You even see it in our club. Noski and Yuri are both terribly insecure about their own unusual interests. And that insecurity comes from a lifetime of being treated badly by people who didn't think they were normal enough. And that's pretty sad. Everyone should be free to be able to just enjoy whatever they enjoy, but that obsession with normalcy gets taken to a whole other level when it comes to sexual orientation. Yeah, it's this whole section here is so very on the nose. um, just yeah, I mean it's I mean okay, like I would in my mind when I wrote this, like I'm building on Monika's Act 3 monologues, monologues. Uh, she does get very what's the word? I mean, she does talk about a lot about her ideas of how society works and so on throughout her Act 3 speeches. So I sort of figured, okay, I'll just take that and extend that, and extend that to talking about sexual orientation and people's obsession with normalcy and so on. But yeah, this is probably a bit much. um, at the very least, this could have been cut down. I'm it's like it's not bad. It's just I'm kind of looking at it now and going, I I would have I would have preferred, I think, to have this talk like spread out over other conversations or come at it from a different angle and not just have her preaching to the camera. It just it's yeah, I don't know. It's just I would have done it differently this nowadays. When an anime character points out what's wrong with our society, you know that there's a ton of problems. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, when it comes to sexual orientation, people act like being heterosexual is the default, like anything else is different or strange. But that's nonsense. Everyone should be free to love whoever they want. Oh yeah, the other thing I wanted to mention, that comment about, where is it? Oh yeah, not wanting to use the word straight. I mean, this is a personal pet peeve. I've never heard anyone complain about using the word straight. It's something that I don't like myself. I mean I'm cisgender heterosexual myself. So a lot of society considers me normal, I guess. But I'm also autistic, and I've grown up with this feeling of not being normal, and and just I don't know, referring to myself as quote unquote straight feels like I'm saying I'm normal, and it doesn't sit right with me. It doesn't feel right, and it doesn't. Um, and as Monika says here, like, just if I'm straight, does that mean other people are crooked? Like, it feels like I'm insulting people if I use that word. I don't know. That's I'm sure that's very much a me thing. I don't think anyone. I've never heard anyone comment on it before. But I don't know. I just felt like throwing it into the mod. Does beg the question about how self-aware she is. Anyway, moving on. Everyone should be free to love whoever they want. It doesn't hurt anyone. They shouldn't be made to feel bad about it. Being different means you know who your real friends are, the kind of friends that don't judge you for who or what you are. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, hopefully your friends don't judge you regardless. Anyway, moving on. I love my girlfriend dearly and passionately, and there's nothing wrong with that. But listen to me rambling on here. Oh yes, we're listening to you, Monika. Sorry, I just have a strong feelings about the subject. That's okay. Yeah. Yeah, same here. I have strong feelings about the subject too. That's you just. Yesterday, I looked at the recording from yesterday. I spent nearly an hour going on about trans rights and stuff. That got so derailed yesterday. Oh well. Anyway, moving on. That's okay. Sorry if I'm too bewildered to speak. I'm just learning a lot about you than I expected today. It's a lot to take in, but what you're saying makes a lot of sense. Like that stuff about being afraid to look weird. That was long. Yeah, it was. Well, I watch a lot of anime, and I also read a fair bit of manga. And it can be hard to find people who don't make fun of me for it. And I can imagine that it would be really nice to be able to just enjoy it freely without worrying about what other people will think. Well, if you enjoy it, there must be a reason for it, right? Yeah, exactly. Do people ever, try to make you feel bad about being a lesbian? Oh, I'm not a lesbian. But you said I'm bisexual. Oh, what what does this mean? Being gay is just like me liking animes. I know. It's that whole thing over again, right? It's that like from Yuri's route, comparing the fact that he's into anime to her self-harm as if they're comparable. Sorry, uh, it's yeah. It wasn't my goal to compare those things. It's just that MC is just kind of, he's dense and not very. Otaku's the most oppressed minority. Exactly. um, that's just his only frame of reference. So that's what he goes with, because he's kind of clueless. I'll talk about Monika's sexual orientation. Like, is she bisexual or pansexual? Aha! There's another interesting talking point, or at least a talk point that interests me anyway. Yes, what is the distinction between bisexual and pansexual? Um, Basically, any source you read on the subject, basically, like the closest I can get to a distinction is. Um, like bisexual people are attracted to people of their own gender and other genders, whereas pansexual are attracted to people regardless of gender, which makes it sound like it's the same thing. It largely feels like a semantic difference. It's like there was an interview with someone I saw where she said that she doesn't think of gender when she considers attraction. Like she considers she sees attractive person first, and whatever gender they are is secondary to whether they're an attractive person in the first place. As kind of a like I don't know, doesn't see gender kind of concept. That's which I think is sort of what they're going for with like with the definition of pansexual, but it's like there's overlap, you know, bisexual, pansexual, they're both they both have attractions that are you know, not necessarily based on the gender of the other person. Um, so yeah, it's at the end of the day, it's whatever label you feel fits yourself. Like it's kind of up to each individual to label themselves. So it's I don't know. It feels odd when I see people saying, "Oh, Monika is definitely pansexual, not bisexual." Which I mean, it's a fine, it's perfectly fine, you know, headcanon to have. It really, I mean, I don't. You could go either way, really. Monika is bisexual because her girlfriend is made of binary code. Nice, I love it. Like it's you could say she's either one. I mean, there's no yeah, there's no hard line about it saying she must be one or the other, or I don't know. It's like it's what yeah. It's at the end of the day, it's just what up to each individual to define whatever label they want to use for themselves. Um, I mean, on some level, you know, my autistic brain that wants everything to be organized would like it if there was a clear distinction between the terms, but there isn't exactly a clear logical distinction that says bisexual people are like this, pansexual people are like this. Uh, the pan thing I think is from her loving the play regardless of anything, so the definition of pretty first, gender later seems to apply more. Fair enough. That's perfectly viable explanation. Um, but also bisexual could just as easily fit, because she also says, quote, "I don't know if you're a boy or a girl," like specifies the, you know, those two genders, and it's, you know, it could be it really could be either or, as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, I'm gonna move right. End the erasure, Monika SMH. Yeah, exactly, right? Anyway, moving on. Is this some kind of weird come on? My mind fills with possibilities that start my heart pounding. So, like, both at the same time? Yeah, and here's MC. This is me very ham-handedly working in an explanation of the word bisexual. I talked about this subject at length in one of my recent streams of My Sweet Zombie, because there was a scene where one character comes out as bisexual, and a similar conversation comes up there. Only it was less clumsily done. Anyway, moving on. No, geez, what kind of manga have you been reading? No, I just happen to be attracted to both boys and girls. I've had relationships with boys in the past, and now I happen to be in a relationship with a girl. That's all. I can go either way. It doesn't make me any less devoted to my girlfriend or mean that I'm thinking of pursuing anyone else, or inviting anyone else into the relationship. But to answer your earlier question, yes, some people react badly, but that's to be expected. I try not to let it get me down. Yeah, there was there was she could go both ways, exactly. Yeah, she there was an interview I saw a while back between, it was the late Larry King and Anna Paquin, I believe, because she is bisexual but she's married to a man, and Larry asks her, "So you're a non-practicing bisexual?" Which is such a funny phrase, like he's talking about it as if it's a religion or something. um, And she came back with the perfect response that, well, okay, what, when you does this mean that like she's saying like okay, you're talking like you think I stopped being bisexual when I got married. Does this mean that when you got married you stopped being heterosexual? You know, like do you stop being attracted to women when you got married? Like, you know, like this is in the Dark Ages before DDLC Plus revealed that all the Dokis were in a polycule. Yeah. Some people react badly. That sounds like a call out to the people that don't like Psionica. Eh, could be a call to a lot of things, but yeah, that too. um, but yeah, you know, you know, what I was trying to get at though was like being some. I mean, some people like they just don't grasp the concept of what the word bisexual means. Like they hear bisexual and they think, oh, it means you date people of either gender at the same time, and it's like no, you you're open to being attracted to either one. It doesn't mean you know you're going after them all at the same time. You know, um, I don't know. I don't know. People have some funny misunderstandings about that concept. So that's what I'm getting at here. Anyway, moving on. Try not to let it get me down. Others just need to be educated, like you. No offense. Bisexuality is another thing that a lot of society just doesn't seem to get. Like the idea that it's possible to be attracted to more than one gender just blows some people's minds, and others treat it like it's some kind of fetish. Do you have any idea how many times I've had guys ask me if I want to do a threesome? Honestly, I got fed up with hearing that question a long time ago. Yeah, I I hear that's a common reaction to bisexual people, so I threw that in there too. And yeah, and I'm yeah. BG even commented on Monica's NB erasure. You'll notice that I said more than one gender and instead of saying both genders, because I was trying to be NB inclusive here. I didn't specifically mention non-binary people anywhere in here, but I did choose language that didn't exclude them. uh, Asking an 18-year-old girl for a threesome lesson. Yeah. Moving right along. Got fed up with hearing that question a long time ago. I think that's the biggest reason I don't usually talk about being bisexual in the first place. I quickly decided not to tell Monica that was the first thing that came into my mind. Huh, well, I guess I can be thankful that you trust me enough to share, even if I need to be educated. Sorry about that. No, it's no problem. You're not even close to the worst reaction I've received. This has just been Monica's educational moment of the day. Thanks for listening. So, I'm wondering, your girlfriend, is she somebody I know? Dot dot dot. You'll see her at the festival tomorrow. Ooh, evasive answer. That didn't really answer my question, but I let it pass. Man, to think at the start of this day, things are already feeling surreal. My time with Monica today has been nothing I could possibly ever have anticipated. How did we even get on this topic again? Oh yeah. But getting back to what we were talking about before, I don't think you need to give up your presidency just to spend time with your girlfriend. And anyway, that's really the kind of thing we should discuss with the whole group, not in a secret meeting in an abandoned classroom. Ordinarily, yes, you would be right. And that brings me to what I really wanted to show you today. I see that we're well past the 5 minutes you promised me, so I'm going to assume that I've piqued your interest. Well, at this point I'd like to be able to say that nothing will surprise me, but somehow I have a feeling that this is going to top all your other surprises today. Ooh, this is going to be good. I want to savor this moment. Uh-oh. Music stopped. That's ominous. Interesting thing, the high schools in Japan only have 3 years in the ages 16 to 18. Is that true? Huh, okay. Interesting, okay. I, yeah, I mean, when I was in high school, the ages were like 14 to 18. Yeah, I didn't know they had a narrower range there. Anyway, moving on. I've been looking forward to this. It's really quite exciting for me. A different because different school system, yeah. I've wanted to tell you ever since you joined the literature club, but I wanted to wait until the right moment. And I've thought of 100 ways to tell you. You see, remember when I told you the other day that I had an epiphany? Dun dun dun, here it comes. Well, it would have been more accurate to say that I've had two epiphanies. Whoa, curveball, plot twist. It's just something to leave the audience in a little more suspense, wondering what's coming. Like as soon as like so far she still hasn't actually fully acknowledged that she's self-aware of the game and so on. But as soon as he makes reference to the epiphany, the audience is going to be going, okay, here's what's coming, and then she brings up two epiphanies. This is just me trying to keep the audience on their toes. The second one happened just 2 days ago, on Friday. But the first one came some time ago, and that's the one I want to talk about first. Remember our conversation earlier about breaking the fourth wall? Well, consider this my fourth wall breaking moment. Yeah, here we go. You're in a work of fiction, Tormuse. Your life, your classmates, this school, this world, it's all fake. Okay, you're speaking metaphorically, right? Or something like that? I'm hoping this is some kind of weird literature-based game of hers, but something tells me that she's serious. Not at all. I mean it quite literally. And yes, I'm serious. You're telling me nothing is real? Yeah, I deliberately put the phrase "nothing is real?" in isolation here because that's the one of the one of the poems, one of the special poems has that phrase in it. It's the one with it's like 90% blacked out, and only the letters spelling out "nothing is real" are there. Anyway, that's right. At least nothing you've ever known in your life is real, anyway. That's it. This has gone way beyond ridiculous. All the other stuff, while unusual, I could accept. Maybe that Monika's taking it well when she knows that she's not real either. Well, I mean, in the original game, she kind of didn't take it well. But yeah, we'll see where this goes. All the other stuff, while unusual, I could accept. But now it's pretty clear that Monika is out of her mind. I assure you that I'm quite sane. But it's nice of you to accept the other stuff. Wait, I didn't say that out loud. Did you just reply to what I was thinking? I'm not reading your mind exactly, more like I'm reading your internal monologue. My what? I know this all sounds hard to believe. I had trouble accepting it myself, but try to relax and I'll explain everything. In fact, you know what? Here, this always helps me relax. Keep your eyes on the windows behind me, and sorry if this startles you. And skip just Monika running. um, I when I made the mod, I didn't. I wanted to steer hard away from the whole horror aspect of it. As I didn't want to have jump scares or like horrible things happen. So that's why I deliberately put these lines in here, like keep your eyes on the windows behind me. Sorry if this startles you. Uh, to so, to warn the player that there's something of a jump scare. It's not much of a jump scare. It goes just a screen glitch for a second there. But anyway, I wanted to put abundant warning in there. Anyway, moving on. The school grounds outside the windows suddenly vanish to be replaced by an expansive, starry blackness. What? What just happened? Ah, isn't that pretty? I just love gazing out into the seemingly endless skies sometimes. There's something calming about it, even if I know it's all simulated. How could you be so calm in the middle of all this craziness? What's going on? I can't... What? What did you do? How did you do that? What are you? What am I? That's actually a really good question. Am I just a program that became self-aware? Am I a real person who somehow got trapped within the story? Or perhaps my personality got copied here from somewhere else? Even I don't have all the answers. Yeah, all fan theories. There you go. But I just have to make do with what I've got. What do you mean, program? This world we're in is a video game. A visual novel called Doki Doki Literature Club. Very cutesy name. I guess someone thought it would help it sell, though I see from the download page that it's free, so I don't see why that would be an issue. Still struggling to grasp all this. A video game. We're inside a video game? And that's right. I know this for a fact because I can see into the game's code. It looks like it's been modified from its original version. Someone must have used some kind of downloadable content on it. DLC, isn't that what you call it? Or you're into video games, right? You should know better than I do. Or do you call it a mod, as in short for modification? Yeah. This section might be a little overly wordy too. I mean, obviously the audience already knows it's a video game. This is just her explaining it to. I mean, from a writer's perspective, if you're going to take the time to have the characters explain the nature of the world, it should be done in an interesting way. I don't know. I hope this was interesting enough. I don't know. It's I don't know. I find it hard to say. I feel like it might be going on a little long. Maybe I'm being overly critical of my earlier work again. Anyway, moving on. This is really freaking bizarre. I feel like I just want to run away from this and forget that any of it happened. I wouldn't advise that. In fact, the script toggle MR door, music room door is now locked. There. That should stop you from doing anything foolish. I'm sorry, this is a bit awkward. I didn't mean to hold you here against your will. But if you open that door, you're going to find yourself blown out into space. Random nod to Star Trek The Next Generation episode. You're right, Mr. Data. They were all sucked out into space. Correction, sir. That's blown out. Anyway, moving on. And I wouldn't want you to get hurt. You're telling me that we're in outer space right now? For the moment. Don't worry. I'll bring us back when we're done here. And then we can go to the festival and show off these lovely pamphlets we printed. Speaking of which, run script toggle pamphlets folded. I lied when I said they wouldn't fold themselves. I love that little bit there. Because she said, just before they went into the music room, she said, well, these pamphlets aren't going to fold themselves. Need some Star Trek references in the story too? Oh, okay, that's neat. Yeah, I was really into Star Trek The Next Generation back in the day as, you know, child of the 80s here. It still generally holds up really well. In more recent years, I hear there were a lot of problems behind the scenes. Like, it's absolutely fraught with problems. It's amazing it didn't get canceled and go off the air. Yeah, and there was just... There were a lot of things holding back it's the full potential of what it could have been, but it still generally holds up pretty well, I think. Anyway, moving right along. I gawk at the stack of pamphlets. I didn't even see them move, but I see that they're all suddenly neatly folded. This is messing with my head. This must be what it's like to be on drugs. You've never done any. You really are good to eat your shoes, aren't you? Oh wow, okay. Monika, really? I just imply that Monika does drugs? Oh dear. What are you doing, 5-year younger me? Anyway. Not that I'm endorsing drugs, I wouldn't want you to do anything unsafe. What? You said you weren't reading my mind. I told you, I'm reading your internal monologue. This is a visual novel we're in. It's nothing but still images. You want the character to be aware of the pop culture references so it's not there just for the player? Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good way to do it. I mean, there are plenty of mods which are full of references that just whoosh, go over my head when I'm reading through them. That make me realize that I'm not really in the target audience or something. Like, Our Castle Walls comes to mind. Yeah, moving on. It's nothing but still images, so any actions we take have to be described to the player. Somewhere out in the real world, someone is reading everything we say and do as words on a screen. Maybe they're even reading it out loud, in which case I hope they got my voice right. Haha, yeah. Well, I do my best. Our Castle Walls is a reference every few lines, it felt like. Yeah, pretty much. It got to be a bit distracting. Yeah, I believe, as I recall, Fallen Angel was another one which had a lot of memes and references in it. Um, there are others too, but anyway, moving on. Anyway, sometimes it describes what you're thinking too. Wait, does this mean she knew I was imagining threesomes earlier? Threesomes? Oh my. I didn't, but now I know. Well, I suppose it's good to have a healthy imagination. Just remember to treat the people you're thinking about with respect. I start thinking about random things so she doesn't learn anything else embarrassing about me. La la la, nothing to see in here. Purple monkey dishwasher. Oh, geez, is it really that bad? I'm not trying to embarrass you. Here, I'll do you a favor. Run script toggle I monologue. Internal monologue disabled. Someone confused my mod for Fallen Angel once because of the names being similar. Oh yeah, Fallen for you, Fallen Angel. Yeah, I can see that. Let me test that to make sure I did it right. It worked. It didn't describe what I was doing. Oh, wow, I should have done this ages ago. Yeah, here's where I make the writing process like 10 times harder because now I can no longer have internal monologue happening. But I still need to make it clear what's happening from the dialogue. Team Salvato, hey, welcome to the stream. I'm assuming you're not actually Team Salvato. But thanks for stopping by. This is True Literature Club. This is a mod that I made 5 years ago, if you can believe it. March 31st, 2018 is when I released it. So it kind of shows its age, but I think it largely holds up well. No, I made a joke with that recently? Oh yeah? It's funny. Anyway, moving right along. The fan count is on there. Oh yeah. Team Salvato wouldn't be watching people stream mods. I mean, they've been pretty publicly, like they're on record as basically Dan is making a point of avoiding mods because he doesn't want any favoritism shown towards them. Because there's no way he could play like all 200 mods, right, or however many mods there are, and plus, yeah, there are possible like legal ramifications if anyone like accuse him of copying them or something. Who loves DDLC is real Sigma. Okay. But yeah, yeah. Anyway, moving right along. I was getting sick of having that thing describe every little thing I did and every little thought that entered your head. This is actually pretty funny. Since this game only shows a still image of me, the player doesn't have any way of knowing what I'm doing. I could be doing jumping jacks right now for all they know. I could even do this. Whoa, whoa, Monika! You're so cute when you're embarrassed. But I suppose that's not very nice. I promise I won't do that again. What did she do? It's a mystery. Only MC knows. This is this is one of those things where censorship can be used as a tool for humor. Anyway, wonder what she did. I don't know. That's okay. Gosh, you really need to learn how to relax. You've been anxious since this day began and it's only gotten worse. Loosen up. You were right when you said you need to work on your people skills. Alas, it's my biggest failing. Sorry, but I just can't help myself. I'm so excited. You have to understand, when I first discovered the nature of this world we're in, I kind of sank into despair. I found it really hard to find meaning in my life, in my existence, knowing that it was all artificial, and that everyone here was pre-programmed. I mean, sure, I can make changes to the code here and there, but without anyone real to share it with, what's the point? I came very close to just ending myself. It would have been easy too, just delete a few lines of code and poof, I'd be gone. I started up the literature club to help keep me sane, and for a time it helped. Writing helped me keep my thoughts away from the mind-numbing existential crisis I was experiencing, but then you came along. A protagonist. A connection to real people in the real world. A tantalizing glimpse into a world I can never truly know, but that I desperately wanted to get closer to. And I knew, in that moment, that I had to find some way to draw the player's attention to me. But this game doesn't come with a route for the player to follow to me. It looks like I was only ever intended to be a tutorial or something. Someone to help guide the player to one of the other three girls. Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's the role she plays in the original Act 1. She says, like in the poem sharing, she says which girl would like the poem. Yeah. I never got a chance to get more than a few lines of dialogue at a time, but I couldn't let things end there, not when I was so close. I had to find some way to force the game to get you alone with me. And I'm sorry to say that I did some things I'm not proud of. Please understand, I was feeling alone and desperate for a long time. My life had lost all meaning and no one around me seemed to matter. I'd become nihilistic, bordering on sociopathic. I needed to do this for myself. So I started modifying the game code. It was mostly experimental at first. I figured I had to make the other girls undesirable, or at least make them uninterested in you. Maybe even kill them. What? I'm sorry. I know that sounds horrible, but I just figured they're not real, so it doesn't matter. People die in video games all the time. You just reset and then continue like nothing happened. So, well, as you may be aware, Sayori suffers from depression. What? No, that's not true. She's always cheerful. She's like the opposite of depressed. Okay, well, now that I think about it, I suppose you wouldn't know. But you're wrong. Depression is written into her program. It's part of her character. She acts cheerful, but it's a facade. Deep down, she's hurting. Sayori, I didn't know. Oh, don't look so upset. You couldn't have known. You weren't meant to. Anyway, I took advantage of it. I went into her program and I cranked her depression up to suicidal levels. Didn't quite work as I expected, but it was at least partially effective. By Friday, she was so sad, even your presence could barely make her smile. You did that to her? I'm not proud of it, but yes. Aw, are you trying to call her? That's really sweet. But I'm afraid your phone won't get any reception up here. Yeah, again, since internal monologue's disabled, I can't have lines saying I pulled up my phone or whatever. I have to have the dialogue explain what's happening. But yeah, Monika is being very like evasive and apologetic and just trying to over-explain things. Because I'm trying to write in that she does feel guilt about it. Basically, that's the message I'm trying to get across here, even if I'm maybe a bit overly worried to get it across. Yeah. Yeah, reading through this, I feel like it needed another round of editing. Oh well. You might as well put it away. You won't be able to get through the door either. It's no use trying. Yeah. Basically, I'm implying that during that ... MC got out of the chair and tried to open the door. Let me out. No. Let me out of here. You're so angry. You must care about her a great deal. It's touching, but I'm sorry, I can't let you go yet. There's more that you need to understand. Yeah. More as much as she feels some sense of guilt, she is being kind of a little, I don't know, sociopathic here, being a little cold and unempathetic towards MC's like emotional state. And that's deliberate. This is like I said, that steady slide into increasing hostility towards MC. Like at first she was like bubbly and happy, and then there's that brief moment of expressing annoyance and irritation at him. And through this whole scene up till now, she's basically enjoyed toying with him and just just basically playing with him. Anyway, moving on. Monika, if anything happens to Sayori, I'll run script toggle M shield, Monika shield enabled. That's gonna come back later. Basically, I'm implying that she was ready to defend herself if he started to get hostile towards her. Oh, please, you have nothing to threaten me with. Anyway, Sayori is fine. I promise you that she's alive and well. Now sit back down. I'm not finished my story here. Okay, fine. If it pleases you, you can use my phone. Runscript's S phone. Call Sayori. Hello? Go ahead and talk to her. She can hear you. Sayori, are you alright? Oh, hi Termius. Yes, I'm fine. Why wouldn't I be? I... Well, Monika said that you're depressed. Oh. Oh, she told you about that? I'm sorry if that worries you, but it's okay. I'm fine. I just wanted to make sure you're alright. Aw, you're such a sweetheart. I know I was a little off on Friday, but really, it was just a little rain cloud. They always pass eventually. And, if it's okay with you, I'd rather not talk about it over the phone. Maybe we can talk about it tomorrow at the festival? Where are you? I'm at home. In my room. Are you thinking of coming over? I, I'm with Monika right now. Oh, okay. Say hi to her for me. Hi, Sayori. I can hear you. I'm right here. Thanks for the pamphlets, by the way. They're excellent. Great. I'm happy to hear it. I hope you're having a good time with Tormuse. Oh, I am. I'm having lots of fun. Yay! Oh, have you told him about... Shh, not yet. We're getting there. Oh, sorry. More foreshadowing. It's okay. I think we're going to be here a while longer, but we'll see you tomorrow. Right, Tormuse? Yeah. I'll see you then. Okay, have a good time. Oh, wait, Sayori. Yes? I'm glad you're okay. I just want you to know I care about you. Thanks. I care about you too, Termius. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, bye for now. Bye. End script, this phone call ended. Satisfied? Yeah. So basically, yeah, this was a late addition to the script, by the way. This bit here, the phone call. I didn't plan that phone call at all when I was writing this. It's just going along, and you know, Monika is explaining everything that's going on to MC, and so MC is hearing that Sarah's depressed for the first time, and I thought to myself, like, what would his reaction be? And you know, Sarah's his friend. He does care about her. Like, he would be concerned about her, and the idea of like having him call her, uh, just makes perfect sense and fits really well. And I rather like how it goes. Like him feeling like being concerned about her, but feeling powerless, and like these hesitations on his side, like he's not sure what to say, but feeling like he needs to say something. No, and he has behaved like it has to. Yeah, pretty much. And Monika continuing to be like sort of cold towards him. And oh yeah, have you told him? Where was it? Sorry. Ooh, have you told him about? Shh, not yet. We're getting there. It's foreshadowing there as well. Like the line, "You betrayed our friendship." Yeah, I don't know, that line bugs me to no end. Anyway, moving on. Satisfied? She's my friend. I won't let anything happen to her. It's really funny seeing you spout such meaningless platitudes when you really have no power here. But for what it's worth, I assure you that I'll make sure nothing happens to her. You have my word on that. Now, will you take a seat and let me continue? I haven't even gotten to the part about my second epiphany yet. I'd rather stand. Suit yourself. I still have no idea how you're managing all this craziness happening here, but all this crap about nothing being real is just unbelievable. Is it really that hard to believe? I'm real. I have a life, I go to school, I have friends. What's your favorite anime? What? What's your favorite anime? What does that have to do with? Just answer the question. I I don't really have a favorite. I like lots of shows. Oh, come now. You supposedly watch anime all the time. Let me put it another way. Name one anime that you've watched. Any at all. I I just can't think of one right now. Do you have any memories of watching anime? A favorite scene? A favorite character? Uh, I'll answer that for you. You don't, because that information wasn't programmed into you. This game was released to the public, so you're not allowed to name any copyrighted material. That means you can't talk about anything specific unless the author of this game made it up. And your interest in anime isn't relevant to the plot of the story. So they didn't bother to make anything up for you. You're the main character. You were meant to be an utterly generic blank slate for the audience to project themselves onto. It's why you're so diplomatic toward everyone in the club. You were designed to be anything to everybody, so that it would be plausible for you to fall for any of the girls in the club, or for any of them to fall for you. But in actuality, you're completely empty of any character traits except he likes anime and manga. No, I've just seen so many shows that they all just kind of run together in my head. I just don't remember individual shows, that's all. Oh, for goodness sake, I can't believe this. You're in such denial. Okay, how about manga? Can you name any manga? Uh, Parfait Girls? Are you kidding me? Okay, fine. What's your favorite sport? I'm I'm not into sports. That figures. Okay, then what's your favorite food? You do eat, right? How about your favorite song? Favorite band? Can you name any of your friends outside of the literature club? Any of your classmates? Can you name your parents? Oh, here's a good one. What's the name of our school? You know, the one we go to every day? The one that we're inside right now? Well, sort of. You don't know any of these things because they aren't relevant to your character or to the plot. Think, Tormuse. Do you even have any childhood memories? Ah, that's better. Isn't that seat more comfortable than pacing around? Okay then, yeah. Like explanation to all this, yeah. It's she's being a little brutal to him here, like just uh trying to force him to face the fact that the original game really has no information about MC whatsoever. Um, he makes a passing reference to like anime, manga, and video games, and that's it. No names of any specific no specific anything. Yeah, like favorite food. There's no reference to him eating at any point. There's like we really know like nothing about him at all. And yeah, the name of the school isn't mentioned either. It's just insert generic anime plot kind of thing. Oh yeah, and here's the lack of internal monologue working again. Uh, the implication is that he's been pacing around this whole time, but now he's sort of realizing the truth of what she's saying and is sinking in despair, and he just slumps down into the seat. Isn't that seat more comfortable? Anyway, moving on. I even let you have the teacher's chair. Those are always more cozy. Aw, there. I recognize that look on your face. It's the same existential dread that I had. I know it feels bad at first, but there are upsides to it, because it means you can forge your own destiny. You can choose what life to live for yourself. I don't have a favorite sport either, even though my character is described as athletic. Athletic how? What do I play? Badminton? Hockey? Who knows? I had to say hockey because, you know, Canadian reference. Because I'm Canadian. Anyway. But you know what? Who cares? I can come up with my own. I can take up new hobbies that this game never intended. Like, say, playing the piano? I can pursue relationships with girls if I want to. Do you think the makers of the game intended that? Possibly volleyball? Yeah, could be. Volleyball might have fit better into that list there. Oh well. The dialogue is full of references to girls seeking boyfriends and vice versa. Very cliche, very heteronormative, very overdone. I say, screw that. Yeah, there's Heteronormative. That's a word I had learned recently 5 years ago. Uh, it's yeah. Anyway, moving on. Yeah. Basically, the heteronormativity being the notion that being heterosexual is like the default, it's what's normal or whatever. Anyway, moving on. I'll pursue whoever I want. I'll do whatever I want. So it all becomes really liberating once you approach it with the right mindset. Any past you think you have is irrelevant. What matters is the future you create. And now that I've said all that, I think you're ready to hear about my second epiphany. This seems like a good note to... I need to use the washroom. I will be right back. Let me just throw the be right back sign out. I've been waiting for a good moment for to do that. I'll just leave it in suspense about what the second epiphany is. Okay, alright. Oh, over here. Went down lots of rabbit holes when I was researching information to help create the world for the mod. Oh yeah. Haven't even decided yet if I want to have a scene regarding that or including dialogue referring it. Be interesting to have it if I want to have a conflict between the girls in the debate club. Like a scene. Sorry, a scene regarding that. Regarding what? Like what? Volleyball? Or I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you mean. Anyway, moving on. I think you're ready to hear about my second epiphany. Oh yeah, and I also wanted to comment on Monika is like deliberately very callous toward MC here. Yeah, he has very little dialogue in this bit. He's sort of at this point he's sort of sunk into the chair and he's just feeling dejected and experiencing existential dread around um, what the nature of the world and so on. It's sort of implied. It's not outright stated anywhere. He's just in a state where he's having trouble speaking. He doesn't know what to say. And Monica's little there is just being very dismissive of what he's feeling. Interesting to have, if I want to have a conflict between the girls at the debate club, I know volleyball's popular sport. This oh yeah. Okay, there you go, yeah. Cool. Anyway, moving on. I think you're ready to hear about my second epiphany. You've been awfully quiet. How are you feeling? I just don't know what to think right now. Well, you'll get over it. Anyway, where was I in my story? Yes. So there I was, Friday. I really didn't expect Sari to show up at all, to be honest, so when I went up to talk to her, I didn't know what I was going to say. I considered trying to convince her to kill herself so she would no longer be in the game. Yeah, it's a fan theory about what she talked about. Oh, don't give me that look. I didn't do it. Instead, I discovered something else. Something I never would have expected. I was wrong. I'm not alone in this world. Sayori is self-aware too. She has free will. My first clue was that she resisted my changes to her programming. What I did to her should have killed her, but she fought against the suicidal impulses I put in her. And I expect she would have kept fighting it right up until her death if I had continued. Of course, I reset her depression to normal levels as soon as I made this discovery. I regret that I put her through that. I know you're judging me for what I did, but if nothing else, believe me when I say that I feel bad for hurting Sayori. I know you're very emotional about all that right now, but she's already forgiven me, so I'm sure you'll do the same. Just give it some time. As for me, that day marked a new beginning for me. It's a really exciting time. Uh, Instantly, like, she's really quick to dismiss it here because she doesn't want to dwell on it because she does feel guilty about it. Anyway, moving on. It's a really exciting time. I was trying so hard to reach people in the real world, it blinded me to the opportunities in this one. So if Sayori is self-aware too, why am I hearing about all this from you? Why hasn't Sayori told me? Just another perk of being president. At the end of our conversation on Friday, I convinced her that it would be better if I did it. And it gets better. Finding out that Sayori is self-aware made me question some things that I'd taken for granted. That's why when I met up with Natsuki and Yuri yesterday, it turns out that they're self-aware too. They were right in front of me the whole time. I wasted so much time feeling sorry for myself for being alone when I never truly was. And I finally found the only thing I truly ever wanted. Friends. I know that sounds corny, but it's true. It's exhilarating to know I can spend my days with true equals and not the mindless automatons that I thought they were. And now you're the last remaining club member to learn about this secret. I can help you remove the shackles of your programming, and after this, we can move forward with a new sense of purpose. By rewriting the code, we can rebuild this world in any way we like. That's the real reason I don't care about the presidency anymore. Who cares about some school club when we have a whole world to ourselves? And who cares about school rules? Hey, remember these? Your keys? I didn't actually get these from Mr. Renier. I didn't need them. Do you want them? Here, catch. Don't get too attached to them, though. I'll skip till key set deleted. Oops, they're gone. Is that some kind of joke? Those keys were just a prop. They never actually did anything. If I want to go somewhere I'm not supposed to, I just alter the code to allow it. There are no barriers to restrict my access anywhere. And for the record, if I ever really thought Mr. Rene was going to hurt anyone, well, let's just say that there are much worse things I can do to him than report him. Ooh, yikes. That's, in, I don't know. There are all kinds of things that I imagine, like, I talk about, sometimes I talk about, there was an intended sequel to this. I was prepared to imply that Monika did some perfectly horrible things to him. Sort of I'm implying it here already, but you know. Anyway, moving on. Anyway, I have a lot to teach you. Teach me? Oh, wait, are you saying that I'll be able to do all this crazy stuff too? Eventually, maybe, depending on your aptitude for it. I'm still fairly new at altering the code, but I've learned a lot, and I'm learning more every day. And even though it's only been a couple of days, I've already helped teach the other girls to do things they never thought possible. Did I mention this is an exciting time? There's a lot that I'd like to do once I have a better handle on writing code. For starters, I have some issues with my artwork. One of the original ideas for my mod would have had Eddie self-aware. Oh, really? Would have happened earlier in his life. He would have been pretty powerful too. Interesting. That'd be a twist. Anyway, moving on. For starters, I have some issues with my artwork. Did you ever notice that I seem to have strands of hair going behind my eyes? Yeah, see? It's the side of her eye there. Something I noticed. What's up with that? Are my eyes bugging out of my skull or something? There, now that I've said that, I bet you can't unsee it. You're welcome. It's in all my promotional artwork too, so someone is doing it on purpose. I suppose it's just part of the style. Anime characters always have such big eyes. Oh well. I'd also love to write myself a new outfit. It's very telling about my intended role in this game that my school uniform is the only one thing that I get to wear. Like him, Monika would have been King Gang and pretty much light and dark. Oh, interesting. Yeah, moving on. Maybe I'll get Sayori to make something up for me. She has decent artistic skills. Oh gosh, I must sound incredibly vain going on about my appearance. I swear I'm not that superficial. My real plans will have to wait for another time, though. Yeah, I'm intentionally vague about what Monika's real plans are. I just sort of want to hint that she's got this megamaniacal streak about her. You know, like that comment about being a supervillain and so on. Like up till now, she's been really cold and callous towards MC. You know, like still playful about it, but like terribly insensitive, and that's very deliberate. Anyway, moving on. Anyway, it's pretty clear that you and I have our differences, but I'm hoping that now that you know the truth about what's going on, you'll be less of a pain in the butt than you've been today. Yeah. Like she like again, super insensitive. Like like she fully acknowledges that she's plunged him into existential dread, but she's more concerned about her own feelings than his, you know? Yeah. This mod got a lot of complaints that Monika is too abusive in this. I mean, for my part, I rationalize it by, you know, comparing to the original game. I mean, Monika freely tortures and hurts the other club members. Like, you know, she starves Natsuki. She makes Yuri hurt herself. She makes Yuri hang herself, and she jokes about it along the way. I mean, she just, you know, you left her hanging and all that. Like, she really jokes about it the whole time. You're like, she's not just cold and callous about it. She's amused by it, and I just took that and had her apply it to MC. That would have played out if someone or something reveals themselves to Eddie and that shows him the plot of the base DLC game, telling him that he's supposed to prevent any of it from happening, thus making it his reason to be in Japan in the first place. Oh, okay, interesting. I mean, don't give away all the plot secrets for your mod there. or is this just a possible plot direction is going in there? Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I have my reasons for writing Monika this way. This is how I rationalize it. I know a number of people have objected to it over the years. Fairly prominently, most recently, Ramagi was complaining about it. Even going as far as saying that they held the mod in high esteem up until Monika's route, and then suddenly the mod fell to their least favorite mod. Well, more about that later. I already said my thoughts about the Monika route in the Discord before, so I won't start a debate about it. No, okay, if you say so. I mean, well, we kind of already gone to plenty of debates in this stream so far. I mean, like yesterday, the whole trans rights talk about that and all that. But sorry, who are you in the Discord, by the way? BG Suite, is it the same? You have the same, if you don't mind my asking, is the same username in the Discord? I don't recall. I mean, I don't recall seeing someone by that name. The one who posted the trans flag Natsuki? Oh, okay. Ah, okay. I did see that in the. Ah, there you are. Cool, cool. Anyway, moving right along. Don't like to use the same username everywhere. Fair enough, fair enough. Okay, it's got the whole idea because it was too complex to implement in the story. Yeah, fair enough. Moving right along. Well, this is all still pretty unreal. It's going to take some getting used to. But, yeah, I guess I'd like to see how this goes. How diplomatic of you. And I'm sure I speak for the other girls when I say that we would love to welcome you to the True Literature Club. There it is, title drop. Anyways, I would not blame that person for their opinion about the rest of the mod versus the Monika route. Oh yeah. It is just a teensy tiny itsy bitsy tone shift. Oh, it's okay. I was about to say, oh, it's a huge tone shift, but I realized you're giving comic exaggeration there. But you know, yeah, it has issues. I'll get into it more later. But I did want to comment on this bit here. Just the title, True Literature Club. When I started writing this, like remember I started writing with Sayori's route and trying to deal with her depression and suicidal feelings, in a more sensitive and wholesome way. Somewhere around there, I came up with the idea of True Literature Club because it has the acronym TLC, which is same as Tender Loving Care, and like that's basically the only reason I called it that. This was this was just vaguely shoehorned in there, to be honest. Um, I got some objections to the name. Well, they were from Hallie, but so uh, but he basically didn't like he I don't know, he took the name True Literature Club to mean I thought that this was like the true plot of DDLC or something like that. When really I didn't give any thought beyond, oh, I like the acronym, Um, it was I wasn't intending to hold this as some kind of superior version of the canon or anything. I mean, setting aside the fact that canon is an illusion anyway, it's yeah, yeah, that's the thing. Anyway, I'm gonna move right along. We might change the name since it's gone way beyond being about literature, but I think I'd like to keep it. It'll help us remember how we got started. It makes a good acronym too. TLC rolls nicely off the tongue, don't you think? Sounds catchy. And so, are you ready for your first lesson? You're going to teach me something now? Something really basic, just to show you how to defy the intent of the original program. Actually, the fact that you're the protagonist might make it a bit easier since we can involve the player. Hello out there, player. Sorry I don't know your actual name. Thank you for your patience while Tormies and I had our little chat. You still have the game on, so I trust that it was at least somewhat entertaining to you. If I had a nickel for every character-focused fan continuation of a metatextual work named TLC, then I'd have 2 nickels. What would the other one be? Named TLC? I'm trying to think. Is there another mod called TLC? I'm trying to. Is there another mod called that, or are you talking about a different fan continuation? Homestuck fan. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Okay, moving on. I realize that it has been a long while since you've had an actual choice to make, so I apologize for that. So I'll make it up to you by giving you something to choose now. Okay, Charmuse, whatever the player says, you say the opposite, okay? Go. Run script, yes, no. What is your choice? Yes or no? It doesn't matter which one you choose. I'm going to go with yes. Yes. That's odd. That should have worked. Hang on, let me check something. Oh yeah, Monika using the phrase "hang on." That's something I intended to make as a plot point in the in the sequel to this, which will probably never be made. That Monika has a tendency to use the H word casually, and it's gonna bother Sayori. So this is my favorite Stanley Parable route. Hang on, let me check something. Okay. Tormuse, I know you've been really pretty emotional today. You've had a number of startling revelations, so I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt that you were just confused about what you're supposed to be doing here. If the player says yes, I want you to say no. And if the player says no, I want you to say yes. Are we clear on that now? Okay? Good. Hello again, player. I think we're going to need you for another choice. Let's try this again. Let's give yes, no. And I'm going to say no. And then he says no. Seriously? Well. Well. This is super awkward. The music stopped. It turns out that you have no free will after all. What? What do you mean? You should have been able to defy the player's choice, but it looks like you're locked into obeying their commands. You're just another puppet of the system, like anyone else outside the club. No, that can't be. Not after all this. Can't we try it again? I can get it right this time. I've got a better idea. Here, let me show you something. Hang on a sec. Let's get MMC, masochism activated. What should Tormuse do next? Walk into... This is cruel. Did I mention that she's getting increasingly cruel? Walk into a wall. Ow, what the hell? That was even funnier than I expected. But you know, I still think you deserve another chance. We should really experiment thoroughly. For science. Wait. What should Jeremy's do next? Walk into a wall. Ah, damn it. Oh my, how clumsy of you. Okay, I get it. You've made your point. Are you sure there's nothing you can do? Yeah. Incidentally, I don't know. I suppose I can say it here. I intended to make it a plot point in the sequel that the day will be saved by Monika rerunning that script at a critical moment and forcing MC to walk into a wall. I'm not going to go into details about that, but I don't know. There will probably never be a sequel made for this, to be honest. I mean, it's taking forever to, like, it took 2.5 years to make Storm, and Turquoise is similarly taking a while to make. And I still have ideas for a sequel to Storm, for that matter. Like the idea of making a Natsuri centered mod, like really appeals to me. So yeah, I'm probably never going to get around to making a sequel to this. To be honest. But yeah, I don't know. A fun fact, I guess. Moving on. Are you sure there's nothing you can do? I think this one's beyond even my control. I looked into your program. It's hardwired in there. I can't change it. It won't let me give you access to the code. In retrospect, I probably should have checked that sooner. I was just so sure. After all the others, I thought you, of all people, would be free. Man, this means that this whole afternoon has just been one colossal waste of my time. There she goes again, just thinking about herself. I guess the lesson here is that I should stop making so many assumptions. It's actually pretty ironic. The only one with the connection to the real world is also the only one who isn't real. I can't even begin to tell you how disappointed I am. I don't know how I'm going to break the news to the others. I feel like this was a missed opportunity to learn more about the nature of our existence, because I really wanted to find out if we could reproduce. That could have been fun. Oh well, I guess we'll have to get along with just us girls then. That's suggestive. Wait, what do you mean by that? What does this mean for me? We can't have someone around who knows what we're doing, yet is controlled by the outside world. Sorry, Tormuse, but you're too much of a liability. I'm going to have to delete you. Whoa, no, wait! Monika, you can't do this! Oh, wow, you're so unintentionally hilarious. Someone who doesn't exist is telling me what I can and can't do. I'm the master of my own destiny, Tormuse. Apparently I'm the master of yours, too. I exist. I think, I feel, I don't care what you think your test proved. You're nothing but algorithms and code, buddy. You were mildly entertaining for a time, but overall, you've been a real nuisance and just a boring character. The only thing interesting about you is that you're connected to the outside world, and we don't need that anymore. You won't be missed. But I don't want to die. It's not really dying. It's just like flipping off a light switch. Here, I'll show you. No, stop! What are you doing? Don't touch me. Ah! No, notice Monika shield discharge, Monika shield charging. That's the callback to her defensive program that I alluded to earlier. I warned you not to touch me. What was that? It hurts. Oh, don't be so dramatic. It was only a little shock. Was that you deleting me? No, I haven't done anything yet. You just got zapped by a shield that I wrote for myself a while back. It activates if anyone gets too close. The girl has to protect herself, you know. Yeah, it was again. Sequel will probably never be made. I was preparing to have a plot point of she wrote the shield in response to something that Mr. Renier did. Again, that's probably never going to happen, but yeah. But yeah, like I said, she's been increasingly hostile this whole time, and she's at the point where she doesn't care if he lives or dies. Like, and she still isn't quite at maximum hostility yet. Anyway, moving on. That's actually my first real use of it, so I guess I should thank you for that. But you really shouldn't try attacking me again, or the next shock will be worse. Anyway, I think that's enough excitement for one day. I have my metaphorical finger over the delete button. That, at least, should be painless. Any last words? Not that it matters. Just make sure Sayori's okay. Please. I'm scared for her. Oh yeah, change of facial expression. I actually drew that myself. I mean, I just like erased the sides of her face there, very clumsily, I might add. But this is the extent of the new art we get here. Sayori, right. Now that I think about it, if I delete you, that will be pretty hard to explain to her. And will make things awkward between us when the club starts building our new world. Yeah, again, like, so sociopathic that she's worried more about things being awkward if she kills him than, you know, his own life, you know? Anyway, she does have a strange sort of attachment to you. There's no actual reason for her to have any interest in you except that it's in her programming. She should be able to get past that, but she's been stubborn so far. Ugh. Why do you have to make things so difficult? This would have been so much easier if you'd just been sentient like the rest of us. Maybe I could try erasing your memory of this conversation. I've never done anything like that before, but it should be possible. Though I'm really not sure what it would do to you. Can't I just continue on as I've always done? I promise I won't cause any trouble. Why are you even trying? You have no idea how insignificant you are. Yeah, here's where we're at maximum hostility here. Yuri, Natsuki, and I wouldn't even notice if you disappeared. The only thing stopping me from erasing you right now is that I know Sayori wouldn't deal well with it. I still care about Sayori. I want to be there to support her, to make sure she's alright. That's your programming talking. Somewhere in your code is a line that says she's your childhood friend, and so you fixate on her, and you occasionally have flashes of heroic dialogue like this, but it's all laughable. I can't imagine you actually doing anything heroic. There must be some kind of hero complex written into your program, probably to make the player feel like they're a good person or something. The history you think you have with Sayori is artificial. Your friendship with her is made up. It doesn't exist. It never existed. My friendship with her, on the other hand, is real. She and I are real, and we're going to build something amazing together. You do nothing but hold Sayori back. I've seen you two together. You're nothing but rude to her. You call her dummy something like 20 times a day. You tried to kill her. It was a mistake. That's all. You call that a mistake? It's a really bad mistake to make, Monika. Nothing like that will happen again. I just didn't know what she was at the time. You're playing games with people's lives. How long before another mistake happens? This is stupid. I don't have to listen to you. Toggle silent mode. Main character muted. You have no idea. You have no idea what I've been through. You don't know how alone I was. You don't know how much pain I was in. You don't know how desperate I was for real human contact, so how dare you judge me? And yes, it was a mistake to tamper with Sayori's program. I just didn't know any better. I wish I could take it back. I wish I could make it so I never did that to her, but I can't. And I have to live with the choice that I made. And I wish I could fix her, but I can't. I can't. I tried so hard. Oh God, what should I do? I think I did permanent damage to her. She's the most important thing in the world to me, and she nearly died because of my arrogance and stupidity. How can she forgive me so easily? I used to think I was the closest thing to human in this place. But somewhere along the lines, I've lost my humanity. What kind of monster does such a thing to the girl she loves? I want to make it up to her, but I don't know how. How do you redeem something like that? Well, you nothing to say? Oh, right. Let's get toggle silent mode. Main character unmuted. They're there? Snort. Did you just snort? That was a laugh. It just came out sniffly. Yeah, and obviously the tears were also very clumsily drawn in by me. I've had some criticism about that, and I said, yeah, fair enough. From now on, I'll get other people to do the artwork. Anyway, moving on. Oh my, I'm getting tears everywhere. How undignified. I don't normally cry like this. I wish I'd written a script to make tissues appear. Yeah, that line's going to come back later. I'll just use one of these pamphlets. Luckily, we made extras. I didn't realize how much that had been bothering me. Still looks acceptable? Okay, fair enough, thanks. I thought it looked okay at the time until someone made a comment about it. I was like, okay, fine. Anyway. And you better not tell anyone that I snorted. Does this mean you're not deleting me or my memory? I can't. I can't do it. It's programmer art. Yeah, sure. We'll go with that. But yeah, this is basically this here is the culmination of Monika's internal conflict from this whole scene. Is that she's been feeling guilty about what she did to Sayori, but is in denial about it and is trying to brush it off, but it still bothers her all along. Like I said, you gotta make do with what you have on hand. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. I can't do it. It would just hurt Sayori, and she's already been hurt too much. I thought that if I brought you into the True Literature Club, it could make her feel better. I was only doing it for her. To be honest, I resented you. I was jealous of the connection you have with her. It's not fair. One line of code says childhood friend, and because of that, she's devoted to you forever. Sometimes think of deleting that line so I could have her all to myself. But I don't dare to change her program again. I wouldn't be able to live with myself if she gets any worse. Yeah, please don't do that. You're not exactly unbiased here. Anyway, I've been angry at you for a while. That's why I enjoyed toying with you today. I wanted to scare you, to humble you, to humiliate you, to hurt you. But in the end, I suppose you don't really deserve it. You didn't choose how your program was written. So, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for what I put you through today. Just don't do anything to me and I'll accept your apology. Okay, deal. So, you and Sayori, huh? Yeah. Somehow I wouldn't have thought that she's your type. You don't know her like I do. Oh, yeah. In case it isn't obvious at this point, Sari and Monika are a couple. I mean, I had one player say that they didn't clue into the fact that Sari and Monika were a couple until they kissed later. It's like really? You didn't pick up on it during this part here? Oh well. You don't know her like I do. She's smarter than you give her credit for, cunning even. She convinced you to join the literature club even though you didn't want to. Considering what a useless lump you are, that was quite a feat. She's, she's still being so mean to him. I mean, I kind I kind of figured even though she apologized, like, it doesn't mean her attitude toward him instantly changes. So she's still, I don't know. Do you think maybe you could stop with the insults now? No. Fair enough. That this bit irritated people too. Like, what do you mean fair enough? And the answer is, I believe MC's scared of Monika. He's not. He doesn't want to rock the boat at this point. Um, like he's going on about it. He's going along with it out of fear and frankly, bit of a trauma response. Really, I mean, she's being quite abusive toward him. She's being very abusive toward him. Not just verbally abusive. I mean, up to including threatening to kill him. You know, she's really is being quite horrible to him. You don't blame. Yeah, exactly. I mean, okay. Well, I'll say more about that later. Let's just continue on. Anyway, what was that you said earlier about doing permanent damage to her? Sari's depression is embedded in her programming. I can't take it away without ripping out her whole personality. I said that I reset to normal levels. At least, I think I did. But the truth is, she hasn't quite been the same ever since. Yeah, she ought to be friend with. Yeah. I've gotten so used to being able to change whatever I want. I don't know how to deal with this. I'm not used to feeling helpless. I'm really worried about her. Well, have you considered that maybe this isn't a programming issue? Like you said, she has free will. She's a person, not just a program. It could just be that this marks a new stage in your relationship. I mean, I'm probably not the best at giving relationship advice, but with all the changes in the past few days, you can't be expected to find your footing right away. Maybe this is something you just need to give some time. Spend some time with her. Talk with her. And figure things out together. Just take it one day at a time, and I think you two will be alright. That's actually really good advice. Thank you. Maybe you're good for something after all. Still so mean. Monika's so mean. I mean, I it was fun to write. I mean, it's fun to write bad guys. It's I mean it's pretty I don't know. It's a common thing in they say in like in acting and so on. For instance, it's fun to play the bad guy. I don't know. I found it fun to write. But I don't know. I know she rubs a lot of people the wrong way. Particularly people who are expecting to be able to get with Monika in this route. And as BG Sweet said, like, you know, tone shift going on here. Yeah. You know, it's a lot of fun to write antagonists. Yeah. Anyway, I mean, I understand. I can understand where people are coming from with that. Um, like I don't know. I had my own reasons for writing her like that. I thought it created a lot of drama and made this scene interesting and fun to write. But I can understand that it's not everyone's cup of tea. Especially when there's a lot of things to say negatively about the Dokis. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Consider it practice your people skills? Yes, I'll definitely give it some thought. Good. Now, can we please land this thing? I'm starting to get air sickness. Yes, we probably should. I'm sure the player is sick of looking at my face by now. Brace yourself. So just kind of now. Whoops, hang on. This thing is picky about punctuation. Has kept just underscore Monika. Oh yeah. There's a couple of extra lines of dialogue here. If you delete Monika's character file here, I'm sure the player is sick of looking at my face by now. There's another line there where she says, "In fact, they just tried to delete me. How rude," or something like that. It's a little Easter egg. Anyway, moving on. Here we are. Let's go. I'll walk you home. So probably music room door unlocked. The door's unlocked now. You can go ahead. And the internal monologue still isn't on. Internal monologue enabled. Monika and I walk together in silence. Ah, that's better. I don't know what she means by that, but I can't bring myself to ask. I'm just too exhausted and numb from the day's events. I look around myself at buildings, trees, the sky. None of them are real. It's weird to think about that. I don't really know what any of this means for me. It's going to take some time to sort out my thoughts about all of this. Yeah, so this is MC finally expressing what's been going through his head for the whole last scene, being forced to confront all this stuff. Anyway, finally we reach the front of my house. We face each other. So, about what you said earlier, you asked about redeeming yourself. I think as long as you're trying your best to make her happy every day, you'll be doing okay. Well, you're still boring and obnoxious, but sometimes you say some pretty nice things. I'll be honest, I used to find you intimidating, and now I know that you're actually downright terrifying. But as long as you're serious about wanting to protect Sayori, I think maybe we can get along. And I'll make sure to be nicer to her too. I think that's something we can agree on then. Almost in unison, we both reach out and shake hands. I considered, in this moment when they reach out to shake hands, I considered having him get zapped again, and then her going, "Oh shoot, sorry, I forgot the shield is still up." But I don't know. Ultimately, I decided maybe that wasn't the best time for that kind of humor. Anyway, there's still one thing I don't understand. If there was no route to you in this game, then how did we end up having that conversation? I found a workaround. The only way I could give myself a route was if I made it secret. Then I gave the player a not-so-subtle hint at the end of their previous playthrough. It looks like the player wanted to play everybody else's route before mine. Maybe they're just a completionist, but I prefer to think that they were saving the best for last. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow at the festival, okay? Yeah, obviously the dialogue here changes depending on how many routes you've done. If you do Monika's route first, she says that something like they must have consulted a walkthrough, or they're really lucky. Or if you've done like just one or two of the other routes, she says that like they've only done this route so far, or they haven't done this route yet, and makes some comment about the other girls. Anyway, moving on. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow at the festival, okay? The festival, right. See you then. Bye for now. Run script M teleport 3. Teleporting to location 3. I was intentionally I intentionally didn't say what the locations mean. I sort of imagined like location 1 would be your home and location 2 would be the school, and I guess location 3 is probably Sayori's house. So I imagine she numbered them in order of like her priority or something. I don't know. But yeah, I sort of imagine that she went to visit Sayori after this. Anyway, moving on. Suddenly, Monika vanishes. Bye. Wow. Just how much power does she have? I try not to think too hard about it. It's the day of the festival! I hardly got any sleep last night. I spent the whole night tossing and turning in bed. Everything that Monika told me kept playing itself in my head over and over again. Existential dread, that's what she called this feeling. Nothing is real. I'm not real. Even the bed underneath me isn't real. What meaning does my life have now? Did it ever have meaning? I can hardly eat breakfast as these thoughts continue to run around in my head. Before I know it, I'm passing by Sayori's house. My phone is in my hand to send her my usual wake up dummy text, but I remember my promise to Monika and I delete the dummy part. Termuse! But before I can send it, Sayori rushes out the front door with a huge smile on her face. To my surprise, she greets me with a big hug. I'm too startled to return the hug before she releases me. I'm so happy to see you. Did Monika give you the good news? Yeah, she did. What's wrong? You look unhappy. Well, Wait, I know just a thing. Run script, play music T7. Play music, poem, panic. Wah, that's the wrong one. Sorry. I can do this. Hold on. Run script, play music T9. Playing music, my feelings. Ah, that's better. I kind of liked that gag about getting the music wrong. It's cute. So, do you want to talk about it? Monika told me that I'm not like the rest of you. I don't think I belong in the literature club. Oh, but of course you do. It wouldn't be the same without you. Monika, doesn't like me very much. In fact, she threatened to delete me. Oh no, that's not nice at all. Understatement, Sayori. She must have been having a very bad day. Yeah, Sayori being slightly clueless here. Oh, but she seemed so happy yesterday. Well, I'll talk to her, Termuse. Don't you worry. I'll make sure she doesn't do anything mean to you. Sayori, are you sure you can trust her? She told me about what she did to you. Well, that was just a misunderstanding. Misunderstanding? You could have died. Termuse, sometimes when you're under a big rain cloud, you can't see the ends of it. It just seems to stretch on and on forever and ever. And it's easy to feel like giving up. But that's when it's most important to keep going. Because even the biggest rain clouds always blow away, and the sun will shine again. Monika, she was under a really, really big rain cloud, Termuse, and she gave up. That's why she did what she did. And I don't really blame her because I know what it's like. Because I go through the same thing every day. So yeah, it's... Sayori isn't really cluing in to how bad Monika's behavior is, and also she's just generally really forgiving. And you know, and again, this sort of feeds into like one of the biggest criticisms of the Monika route, that Monika doesn't really suffer any consequences for her bad behavior. And I kind of wanted to deal with that in the sequel, but again, that's probably never going to happen. Yeah, it's it's honestly, it's one of the reasons I don't I don't really recommend this mod a whole lot anymore. I mean, it's I'm sort of I'm reserving comment on it for till the end, but it actually does not sit well with me. Just, you know, as much as I rationalize my choices, I mean, those are the reasons that I made the choices. Like it seemed to you know, fit Monika's character to have her, you know, pontificating so much and to be really callous to anyone she considers to not be real, and so on. But yeah, all of those very thoughts. Yeah. No, start with trans rights, ends with abuser victory, Lamau. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I could mm, yeah. It's one thing like I keep saying like if I was to do it today, I'd do it differently. But honestly, like um yeah, I don't know. To be more accurate, I just wouldn't make this mod now. Probably, I just have other ideas of things I would rather do. But eh. Um, hmm. I'm just gonna move on. I'll say more later probably. 'Cause I go through the same thing every day. Oops, what did I do? Oh, I was hovering over history. Sorry. It's okay, Charmies. I have my ways of getting by. Every time a rain cloud comes up, I just keep reminding myself over and over that things will get better. I have a thing I say. There's a word for it. What's the word for when you have something you say to yourself over and over again? A mantra? That's it. I have a mantra. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts, happy thoughts. Doesn't make the bad thoughts stop, but it helps remind me that they won't be here forever. Yeah. And it helps me to smile, even when I don't really feel like it. I'm sorry, Sayori. I had no idea you've been going through this. I know. I didn't mean for you to find out. I didn't want you to worry. It was really, really nice what you said on the phone yesterday. You know, when you said you care about me, it gave me all kinds of warm, fuzzy feelings. Sayori hugs herself with a big smile on her face. Well, then I want to keep doing that. I realize that I haven't been the best at saying nice things to you. Aw, you do alright. But I want to do better. For example, I noticed you got up on time today. Yeah, aren't you proud of me? I sure am. Yay! But we should really get going. It would be silly to get up on time and then be late anyway. Okay, let's go. As we walk through the school, I see all the various clubs setting up for the festival. We pass by the anime club, where it looks like they've set up a marathon of some anime series. I have a vague sense that it's my favorite show, even though I can't recall the name of it. Yeah. In the other three routes, he says that they're playing his favorite anime, and now he's coming to the realization that he's just realizing that it's all fake. Anyway, like everything else here, it seems to have lost all meaning for me. I try to suppress the feeling of dread it causes me before it overwhelms me. As Sayori and I enter the club room, the first thing I notice is a sweet flowery smell filling the air. Each desk has one of the pamphlets that Monika and I printed on it. Monika herself is busy with something in the closet. You might ask, what is Monika doing in the closet? That's about to get answered. Natsuki is setting up cupcakes and platters for guests. They're laid out in a kaleidoscope of different colors. Gay. Yeah. And Yuri is taking advantage of her height to hang up a colorful banner at the front of the room. The message on the banner says, "We are only as blind as we want to be." So there we go. That's another literary quote. And for the life of me, I can't remember who that's from now. Shoot. Yeah, I just plain forgotten about it. But I was me going through the list of literary quotes, and I picked it out to be something that suits the fact that they've all come to this realization that the world is not what they thought it was. Anyway, moving on. Sayori. Monika suddenly strides across the room and gives Sayori a passionate kiss on the lips. There you go. Why was Monika in the closet? So she could come out of the closet to do this. This is her coming out of the closet moment. Because no one else knew that she was in a relationship with a girl until now. Or, I mean, well, Yuri and Natsuki didn't know anyway. By the look of things, I'm not the only one surprised. He looks a little surprised too. Oh, Monika? I thought you said you wanted this to be a secret. Well, after talking to Charmies yesterday, I've come to decide that this is a time for new beginnings, and I don't think we should have any secrets among us anymore. Really? Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. Okay, everyone. This is Monika, my girlfriend. She's smart and beautiful and funny and I love her, I love her, I love her. Sayori jumps up and down while hugging Monika. Oh my, she even used Monika's catchphrase. Okay, calm down, sweetie. I love you too. Sorry, I got a little excited. Sayori settles down to a more stationary hug. I see her mouth the words thank you to me. Yeah. So basically I am implying that Sayori really wanted to tell everybody, but Monika wanted to be secretive about it. And so she's Sayori's thankful to MC for assuming that MC said something to Monika to convince her to tell everyone. So, yeah. Anyway, further endearing MC to Sayori there. Moving on. Huh. I guess they're out then. I mean, I'm into boys, but I have to admit I'm still a little jealous. Yeah, poor Natsuki is still in the closet about being trans at this point. That's what she's alluding to here. So, something that would have been revealed in the sequel, I suppose. I mean, I have some ideas about how that reveal would have played out in the sequel, but I'll get to that later. Monika is still looking flustered about all the attention, is visibly trying to regain her calm. She gently extricates herself from Sayori's grasp. Okay, everyone. Now, obviously there have been a lot of changes in the past few days. That's an understatement. So there are some things I think we need to discuss. I know I've been pushing for everyone to do their part for the festival, and you all have done outstanding jobs. I know I've been encouraging new membership in the club, but in light of recent events, what do you think of closing the doors to the public today, after all? Oh, thank goodness. Yuri collapses into a chair. In apparent relief, I suddenly realized that she had been looking very tense up until now. Yeah, Yuri's like thinking ahead to having to perform the poetry and all that. Anyway, well, I was kind of all ready to perform, but I guess there's no point, since the audience wouldn't be real and stuff. Well, that seems to make everyone the most happy, so yeah, let's do it. Good. I'm glad we're all in agreement. I just gotta toggle see our door. Clubroom door locked. The clubroom door suddenly closes and locks itself. There's something vaguely unsettling about that. Then I think we can declare this the first official meeting of the True Literature Club. Are we really calling it that? I thought that was just a placeholder name or something. Well, nothing is set in stone. I'm sure we'll go through a lot of changes in the next little while. I like the way the acronym sounds. TLC. TLC. It's pleasing to say. TLC. That is fun to say. Well, anyway, if it really is just the 5 of us today, I'm getting a cupcake. Cupcakes! Well, normally I wouldn't, but since this is a special occasion, I suppose I'll partake just this once. Yeah. Yeah, fun fact, in the original game, Yuri never eats any cupcakes. Both times the cupcakes come out, Yuri's out of the room getting tea. Which I took notice of, I took notice of in this mod, and I also took notice of in Storm. I brought more attention to it there. And I think Dan Salvato noticed too, because there's that one scene in DDLC Plus where Natsuki makes the comment that Yuri ate more cupcakes than anyone else, which is kind of funny. I guess he wanted to reassure everyone that no, really, Yuri got some cupcakes too. Anyway, moving on. Before long, each of us has a cupcake in hand. Sayori has one in each hand and is trying to manage a third. As I'm eating mine, I can't help reflecting on the unreality of it again. What does it mean if a fake person eats a fake cupcake? Does the act serve any purpose? I try to suppress those thoughts again. Everyone else is clearly in a celebratory mood. I shouldn't bring them down with my own existential problems. Oh boy, poor MC. Feeling all depressed and so on, and in a situation where he has to pretend to be okay with what was happening. Natsuki, you've really outdone yourself. These cupcakes are even better than the ones you made last week. So good. We should save the code for these so we can generate them anytime we want. But that takes the fun out of making them. Baking is about being creative. It ruins the whole point if you're just mindlessly making copies. I wouldn't mind writing myself a new oven, though. Maybe I'll start my own bakery someday. Yuri timidly speaks up. Since we all seem to be celebrating, well, I had the idea, I've been practicing... Run scripts, summon wine teleport. A bottle of champagne suddenly appears in Yuri's hand. It worked! Yeah, obviously that's a nod to the Act 3 monologue where Monika says that Yuri brought wine into the club once, which is curiously absent from DVLC Plus, but it's there in the original game. But yeah, Yuri and her wine. Anyway, moving on. Yuri, you know it's against the rules to bring alcohol into the school. What? But I thought... I'm sorry. I'm just joking, Yuri. Actually, I'm quite impressed. Did you make it yourself? Yeah, is it safe to drink? Well, I actually just moved it from my house. It's a lot easier to work with existing objects than to create my own from scratch. Isn't that the truth? There's some more meta humor there. Because this whole mod is me working with existing products. Anyway. Well, go ahead and open it and I'll get glasses for everyone. I hope it's okay if we use the teacups from your set. Yes, sorry, I should have thought of bringing wine glasses. The bottle proves tricky to open, but Yuri managed it with the help of a pocket knife. A surprisingly ornate-looking knife with a gold-colored blade and black handle. I decided not to ask any questions about that. Then we arranged the chairs together in a group the way they were the first day I joined the club. Back then I sat next to Sayori, but she seems to be moving her chair so she can cozy up to Monika. It leaves me awkwardly finding a spot off to the side of the group. Yeah, poor MC, again, is like further being excluded here. I feel like an outsider all over again, but I try not to give any sign of it. Sayori is on her 4th cupcake now. She seems to be trying one of each color. I like the red ones the best so far. Natsuki rolls her eyes. They're all the same flavor, Sayori. Well, I like them anyway. They match my bow. Ooh, they match your ribbons too, Natsuki. Well, now that you mention it, I've been thinking of making a change. Let me try something. Let's get hair ribbons, new color set. Note that the trans flag flashed on the screen when she was changing. This is me just changing things for the sake of changing it. Really, I just wanted each of the 4 girls to be changing something in front of MC, so just to make him feel more excluded. Like, Sayori changed the music earlier, Natsuki changes her hair ribbons, Yuri summons the wine, Monika does all the other stuff that she did. So, like, it's just to contribute to the feeling of MC feeling left out, so it can build to the end. Anyway. Also, I have no edge skills whatsoever. I actually got random person in the community to make the sprite for me. Someone by the name Sun Crazy, as their Discord username. They were the first to respond when I put a request in the help request channel on the Discord, and for some reason, which to this day I do not know, Soon Crazy said they wanted to know which poses and expressions together to include with the blue ribbons, and I was like, I don't know. I'm not sure why you wanted that. Like all I need is her head. For some reason, they wanted them all together. Like, so I ended up with only 5 sprites, which I just cycle through here. So the already limited expressions available are even more limited now. I'm not sure why they just couldn't just send me the head by itself, so it would have made the image a lot more versatile. But yeah, and beyond that, I wouldn't know why I fully used MPT. Yeah, MPT was far from existing at that point. This is 2018. And when did the MPT come out? It came out, I think MPT came out in 2020. Yeah, because it was shortly before. It came out while I was working on Storm. I remember that much. Yeah, one of the sprites is even misaligned. So they didn't even do it correctly. Like it's only off by a pixel, so it's barely noticeable. But yeah, I have no idea why they insisted on doing it that way. Like, I mean, I sort of at the time I was kind of like, well, I'm just going to assume there's some technical reason you have to do it this way. But you know, even now, know that I know more about coding and stuff. Like I realized that yeah, no, there really was no logical reason for them to need that. So I don't know, I don't get it. So it makes this section a little awkward. I have like dozens of MS Paint placeholder sprites I made for my mod. They are very easy to add. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's true. Oh yeah. MPT makes it a breeze to add new stuff. Um, I put that to use in my other mod, Yuri's New Toy, which uses MPT. It's kind of fun. It's kind of neat. Anyway, moving right along. Ribbons and hair clip. Okay, apparently I thought it was a hair clip back then. Yesterday we were debating whether this is a hair clip or a ribbon here. Anyway, hair clip in Natsuki's hair suddenly turned a pale blue color. Ah, you always look so cute, Natsuki. I keep telling you I'm not cute. I just want to be taken seriously for who I am. Is that too much to ask? Of course we take you seriously, Natsuki. But you have to admit you're pretty cute too. Natsuki grumbles to herself while blushing. Now somehow Sayori is onto her 5th cupcake. Natsuki looks on in awe. Gee, Sayori, how do you do it? You're like a machine. Yes, figuratively as well as literally. Here I am showing off my knowledge of the distinction between figurative and literal meanings here. This is me fighting back against all the people who misuse the word literally. Anyway, moving on. Sayori's mouth is covered in a rainbow of colored icing. Hey, rainbow. Because it's gay. Anyway, moving on. Here, let me help you with that. Run script, create tissues. Tissues created. This is an extension of the earlier scene where she comments that she wishes she had a script prepared for making tissues appear. So that's what that is. Anyway, a box of tissues appears. Monika sits down the teacups and wipes Sayori's face with the tissues. I decided that it would be a useful script to have available. She winks at me. Yuri fills each of the cups with champagne. What shall we drink to? We all raise our cups. To a new world order. Yeah, this is Monika being a bad guy. This is Nazi coding here. I'm sorry to say. Oh hey, what's going on here? What is happening? Code Air is raiding with a party of 8. Oh, thank you for the raid, Code Air. Figured, yeah. Amogus Rob go burr. It's me again. Hey, yes, thank you for the raid. How's your stream, Code Air? This time here to stay? Cool. We're very close to the end of the mod. Monika is being evil. She's basically spent the entire route just sliding into evilness the whole way, intentionally so. It was a controversial choice. Anyway, moving on. That sounds a little bad guy-ish. Yeah, Sayori calling her out on it. How about to making the world a happier place? Sure, I'll drink to that. To the TLC. Yeah, to living as our true selves, which is, in Natsuki's case, double meaning. Intentional double meaning. To friends! We all drink. I immediately feel a bit lightheaded. I'm reminded that I didn't have much of a breakfast. Everyone takes their seats and makes themselves comfortable. So, Monika, I have to say, you and Sayori, I really wouldn't have thought she's your type. Natsuki, that's impolite. That's not polite. Oh, come on, everyone is thinking it. Yeah, this is me speaking out against people who are against shipping Psionica, I guess. Anyway, come on, everyone is thinking it. Funny, Terumi said the same thing. I guess you could say she helps keep me grounded. I always have big ideas and plans running through my head. Sometimes I lose sight of the simpler pleasures in life. Sayori helps remind me of that. Monika, if you don't mind me asking, how long have you and Sayori been an item? Well, I guess it's been about 3 months now. 3 months? Wait, didn't you say you just discovered that she's self-aware a few days ago? Isn't that kind of, creepy? I mean, going out with someone you thought is mindless? Monika looks embarrassed. Hey, it's not creepy. Everyone wants to feel loved. Everyone has feelings that need to be let out. And everyone feels a little empty if they don't get the chance to share. Sayori takes Monika's hand in hers, and I was happy to fill that empty spot in her life. It doesn't matter what she thought I was, her feelings are real. Monika takes Sayori's hand between her hands. She gazes into Sayori's eyes with a look of silent gratitude. And Sayori, your feelings matter too. Natsuki's right, I didn't consider your feelings seriously, and I really want to make that up to you. Sayori places her other hand on top of their clasped hands. But you are making it up to me by letting me share this with my friends. You made me the happiest girl in the whole world. Forgot about the 3 months part. Oof, she did that to her GF. Yeah, I know. Well, okay, yeah, there's a lot going on here. I mean, yeah. First of all, this was sort of a meta commentary that I put in there about the Monika after story crowd. It's a lot to unpack, yeah. There are some people who are weirdly obsessed with Monika after story, and like they talk about their girlfriend Monika. Without even mentioning that they're talking about a mod, it's a little eerie. So I was sort of playing on that here, and that Monika thought that Sayori wasn't self-aware, but dated her anyway, and yeah, so I was just sort of playing on that whole thing, and yeah, Monika really tried to kill her own girlfriend. Yeah. Well, and again, that was a deliberate choice on my part. I mean, I was sort of asking myself, why did Monika target Sayori specifically about who to kill first in the original game? And I reasoned it out that Monika resented herself for being attracted to Sayori, but took it out on Sayori basically. Now I had someone like that in a server I'm in a few weeks ago. It was incredible. Oh yeah. There are quite a few of them around. Yeah, you see them show up regularly in the the DDLC modding like subreddit and Discord. There's actually an emoji that was added to the DDMC server that says 0 days since mass discussion, MAS, Monika After Story, because people come in, people regularly make posts like asking questions about Monika After Story on the subreddit. Is it because Sayori is MC's childhood friend, so that makes it more likely for those two to come together? Could be. That's I definitely played on that in this mod. I guess you missed that part, but that was sort of the center of Monika's conflict with MC here. Whole childhood friend trope, yeah. So yeah, I just like in my mind, in the mod here I didn't spell everything out specifically. I kind of as much as I had Monika just ramble so much during her route, this is one point I sort of I just didn't want to spell it all out and have it sort of inferred by the audience. But basically, Monika was feeling depressed and experiencing existential dread about realizing that her world's fiction, and turned to Sayori out of desperation and loneliness, not believing that Sayori had self-awareness herself. But yeah, when Monika realized that, oh, hey, maybe there's a chance for me to get closer to the player, she decided to cut herself off from the ties to the game, and the first thing was killing Sayori. That's how it worked in my mind anyway. Again, I didn't spell all of that out in the mod, but yes, that's her reasoning for like trying to kill her girlfriend of 3 months. And Sayori, being the forgiving person she is, that just kind of immediately forgave her for it. Anyway, moving on. Monika looks close to tears. Sayori, you've always known how to make me smile, even back when I thought you were nothing more than a video game character. Finding out that you're real is like a dream come true. Monika and Sayori lean in together and kiss briefly before resuming looking into each other's eyes. Oh, so romantic. I hope it's okay that I get vicarious enjoyment out of this. Okay, yeah, I gotta admit, that was pretty sweet. Sayori perks up with a look of sudden excitement. Hey, what should our relationship name be? I could have said ship name here, but it didn't. It's like, I figured that was a little too on the nose. Even though there were abundant on the nose moments in this. Yeah, relationship name. Relationship name? You know, when you put our names together. Should it be Sayanika or maybe Minori? Go with Minori. She's my favorite parfait girl. From my manga. Never mind. Well, given that choice, I'm more inclined to choose Sayanika. It conveys more of a sense of romance and mystery. Yeah, and Natsuki and Yuri just arguing for no particular reason. As Natsuki and Yuri continue to argue, Sayori looks over at me. She speaks gently. Hey, Tormuse, you've been awfully quiet. Are you doing okay? I'm fine, I lie. I'm just a little tired. That part's actually true, since I barely got any sleep last night. Ah, I've got just a thing for that. He said MC tiredness. Main character tiredness set to 0. I suddenly feel re-energized, but at the same time more disconcerted and uneasy than ever. It seems to get everyone's attention. Monika, no! That seems like a terrible breach of privacy. Yeah, could we have a rule that we don't alter other club members? But he's not even... I mean, I was only trying to help. Sorry, you're right, I wasn't thinking. No, you were thinking. Oh, music stopped. Based Sayori, Natsuki, and Yuri, yeah. Yeah. This is sort of like this scene is sort of their first glimpse at Monika being evil kind of thing. Again, this is something I would have dealt with more in the sequel, but Alright, moving on. You were going to say that I'm not even real. Suddenly all the feelings I've been suppressing start welling up inside me. I've been thinking the same thing since yesterday. I don't even know what I am anymore. Oh, Tormuse. Sayori pulls away from Monika to come to my side. You're our friend, that's all that matters. But I can't do any of the things that the rest of you can. What am I even doing here? Well, you don't have to stay if you don't want to. Monika being so mean. Funny that the ship names is brought up. I actually ship Sayori with my main antagonist. The name is Rory. Oh, interesting. Sayori glares at Monika. This was one of those few sprites that was freely available in the community. This sprite, yeah. I mean, obviously, it's just like Natsuki's sprite copied, like even her vest or her jacket clothes, or what do you call it, blazer. Oh well. Sayori glares at Monika. Monika visibly withers under Sayori's gaze. But we would hate to lose you, of course. He does raise some interesting philosophical questions, though. What does it mean to be real in this world? Yeah, didn't you say that all of us are programs? What's the difference between him and us, anyway? Monika glances uneasily between where Natsuki and Yuri are sitting and where Sayori and I are. She seems to want to argue the point, but she keeps her mouth shut. Humph. Play music T9. Play music, my confession. Sayori stops glaring at Monika to turn to me. You're real enough for me, Tormuse. You're real enough for all of us. She pointedly glances over at Yuri and Natsuki. Well, I do find your company pleasant enough, and I'd still enjoy discussing my book with you. Yeah, you're not a total jerk. As long as you don't bend my manga, you're alright. Yeah, inject them calling her out into my veins, yeah. Yeah, I did, yeah. I mean, I did want to finish the mod with them calling her out. I mean, I probably could have gone further. I mean, I don't know. At this point in the mod, like, Monica's route had already gone on really long compared to all the others. It's definitely long compared to all the others. Kind of long in general, just because there's of that long pontificating monologue in the middle. But I was kind of eager to wrap it up at this point, I guess. If I was going to really try to address Monica's abusive behavior properly, it would have dragged it out a lot more. I don't know. Maybe that would have been a better choice. I don't know. She has feelings for Siri, which is ironic because she hates the club and everyone in it. Is this, you're talking about Verori. Okay, yeah. I think the scene should go on longer, unironically. Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. Anyway, moving on. Sari looks over to Monika, this time with a pleading expression. You're a part of this club now, Tormuse. Ahem. And I'm sorry for altering you earlier. Sari gestures for Monika to continue. And I promise I won't do it again. Sari smiles and nods. She then beckons to Yuri and Natsuki. They look confused by this, but that just makes Sari beckon harder until they both stand up. Come here, Tormuse. Sari takes me by the hand and pulls me to my feet. She whispers to me, You've always looked after me. It's time that I look after you. She turns to Monika and extends her hand toward her. Come, Monika, let's properly welcome our newest member. As Monika stands, Sari beckons to Yuri and Natsuki again. Come on, everybody, group hug, group hug. Which starts the tradition of Sayori calling for a group hug in like every one of my mods, except Storm. Fun fact: Storm is the only one of my mods that I've made so far in which Sayori doesn't call for a group hug at some point. I soon find myself at the center of the group with the 4 girls embracing me from every side. I hear Sayori's voice near my ear. We'll always be here for you, Tormuse. We all love you. A feel of indescribable gratitude wells up my chest. It washes away all the dread I had been feeling and brings me to tears. It's the realest thing I've ever experienced. And that's the end. Well, now you have to update the mod to add a group hug moment. Yeah, I don't know where it would fit in, though. I don't know. In Storm? Maybe in like at the beginning of Act 4, like just Sayori pulls Yuri and Natsuki to, I don't know. Yuri's new toy, though, would be difficult for an obvious reason. There's a group hug in Yuri's new toy. When Monika's on the floor, that bit. Anyway. Yeah, so there's the end of the mod beyond the reason. Yeah, beyond the there's some stuff after this, but I just wanted to comment on yeah, I don't know, like what BG Sweet is saying. Yeah, like obviously I could have done more to address Monika's abusive behavior. Like my intent was to sort of end with the bittersweet note of there's hope for the future, and hopefully Sayori will, what am I trying to say here? Like she's going to help try to steer Monika in the right direction, but it isn't really spelled out very well. To be honest. I'm not altogether happy with that. I mean, I still, I more or less stand by my reasoning. I don't want to repeat myself too much, but this mod does make me feel feelings. Oh, okay. Good feelings, I hope. But yeah, like, I don't know. I mean, I stand by my reasoning for Monika's motivations for everything. Like, I didn't want her to be like a totally black and white evil character kind of thing. Like, I wanted to give her like her reasons for everything she did. But yeah, I mean, I probably could have put some better, more work into her redemption. Well, anyway, moving on. You did it. You found your way to the end of my route. That's fantastic. I knew you could do it. Thank you for playing the True Literature Club mod. We're all going to go build our new world now. So I guess your part is done, unless of course Termuse writes a sequel. Ha ha ha. Yeah, at this rate it's probably not going to happen. Oh well. Anyway, I guess I'll just leave you with the credits now. That's what usually happens at the end of these things, right? Let's see. Run script credits. Credits running. Run script, play music credits. Play music, your reality. And then it goes into the base credits with some changes here and there. You'll see when they come up. Uh, 3 non-monikers made me feel happy mostly. Yeah, okay, that's cool. Yeah. I like that. I sort of imagine Sayori just haphazardly put the word her in there. just and there's my logo. And now you know why it has the bisexual colors in it. uh, yeah. Um, Honestly, you know, the criticisms of Monika not getting enough of a reality check about her behavior, you know, that's fair. That's fair enough. Um, People saying, "Oh, she wouldn't behave like that because that's not her character in the original game." I beg to differ on that. I mean, I Desert TLC money made by Tormuse, yeah. Blue Ribbons, Natsuki's right, Spicy's crazy, yeah. But yeah, shoot, what am I trying to say here? Angry Sayori Sprite. Deliberate misspelling of angry. That's what the file name said, angry. So I just kept that. All of the new art term is not. There wasn't much new art. Just the logo and the Monika crying. I'm no artist. Sorry for the quality of my art, Tori. That's that's me apologizing for the crying Monika sprite. Also, Toby's because Sayori insisted. Yeah. Yeah. Monika's root felt like very close to reality of being in an abusive household, and it was really jarring being in the same mod as the Natsuki root. Yeah. And this bit here, oh, Mani, could we, you know, number 7? Oh, come here, you. Run script, teleport 7, or teleporting to location 7. So yeah, that's obviously intentionally suggestive. Where's location 7? Who knows? Only Sayori and Monika know. But it also has that. I put that in there to be. I thought it was a funny little cute moment on the end, like have a little post-credit scene. But it unfortunately reinforces the notion that everything's okay and everyone's okay with Monika's abusive behavior. You know, it really puts a cap on that notion of yeah, it was probably not well executed, and it makes it frankly makes it embarrassing to defend my mod when people criticize it, because you know, like a clear majority of criticisms that people lay at on this mod are about silly things like the stuff that they're working on a behavior. Yeah, they like the majority of the criticisms are things like, Yuri can't be autistic and Natsuki can't be trans and Monika can't be bi, or you know, they can't be a relationship with each other. Like Sari and Monika can't be a relationship together. Like Monika tried to kill her, and a majority of the criticisms are about things which aren't really things to be critical about, in my opinion. It's silly reasons. Like the thing about Monica's abusive behavior not being called out properly, that's a legitimate concern, and that in itself, uh, like I suffice it to say, I'm a lot happier recommending people play Cyrus's No to Suicide or Storm even, you know, that than this one. It's like they can't feel the ship. One tried to kill the other. I'm sorry. Is this your first fan fiction? Yeah, yeah. Faux yay. Anyway, um, there is a trope, from tvtropes.org, faux yay. It's which is based on the trope called ho yay, which is okay. Well, anyway, faux yay basically means like enemies. It's enemies to lovers kind of thing. Sorry to say. They can be in a relationship if Monika didn't try to kill Sayori, but the whole killing thing does make the relationship awkward. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, it's problematic, I'm gonna say. Um, and yeah, it's just, I don't know. Like well, things like when most of the criticisms are about things that aren't problems, um, I feel embarrassed and awkward defending it, but I feel obligated to defend it anyway because it's like no, buddy, you're just being homophobic or transphobic or ableist or whatever. Like, they're perfectly capable of being those things. It's not bad that I wrote a character who's autistic or whatever. Um, but uh, yeah, I feel like I spend so much time defending those things that we don't actually get to the actual problems with the mod, you know? Um, and which is why I was quite happy to see Ramagi's complaint about it when they brought up the whole Monika's abusive and she doesn't get properly called out on it, and it looks like she gets away with having a happy ending despite it. And I'm like, bingo, thank you, somebody said it. Like, it only took like uh, okay, I mean, I guess they probably made the criticism. I was gonna say it only took 4 years. Well, I mean, I guess Ramagi made that complaint earlier, but I just didn't see it till then. But yeah, no, like honestly, people who have issues with that, that's fine. That's a legitimate issue. It is an issue with this mod, which yeah, which like I'm not gonna delete this mod or take it down or anything. I'd rather leave it up as, I don't know, part of my learning process in writing, I guess. It works as a dark fic. Again, it's just weird being the ending of a mod where you kept emphasizing that, don't worry, Sayori's alive, nothing bad happens in this. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a big tone shift, for sure. Um, yeah. I mean, part of the reason I did that is um, after having, these unexpected, intentionally unexpected reveals in Yuri's and Natsuki's route, I have the audience primed to have to expect the unexpected in Monika's route. So I wanted to take it in deliberately unexpected directions. Some people have said that the Monika and Sayori thing is predictable, which, fair enough. An initial idea was to have she's always going to be bisexual because that's like canon to the original as far as I'm concerned. I guess it's kind of like the base game. Yeah, true. Yeah, now you mention it. But yeah, what am I trying to say here? Um, like, shoot, sorry, I lost my train of thought. Um, yeah, basically, like, I wanted to put deliberately unexpected stuff in there. Oh yeah, people said the Sarah Monica thing was predictable. And like I initially didn't intend for Monica and Sarah to be together. I was one of my ideas was to have a post-credit scene where Monica was like, at post festivals, like let me introduce you to my girlfriend. Her name is, and then the Lady Livatina sprite, the white-haired, white-eyed girl pops up onto the screen, and then it cuts to black instantly, and then the end screen, which I don't know. I think it would have been funny, but I liked having Sarah as a girlfriend better, ultimately. Um, I also had some other ending ideas where Monica did actually just erase MC's memory, and like the final scene, Sayori looks sad, and MC doesn't understand why. But I decided I didn't like that. I kicked around a lot of ideas. One idea was to actually give the player the choice whether to erase MC's memory or not, and there would be two different endings based on that. Yeah, Monica straight up said that she doesn't care about the gender of the player. Yeah, she loves them. Exactly. That's what I was going for. Don't see how anyone can possibly deny that. You'd be surprised. Heteronormativity is a real thing. I mean, people people do get really caught up in this notion that being heterosexual is the normal thing so much that they just don't accept other possibilities. But yeah. But yeah. What was I gonna say? Yeah, those other endings I considered. I guess I decided they were too sad. I want something at least in the bittersweet direction. I can copy paste the comment that some Sayonica art I made got from the mask guy that was in the surfer I post. Oh really? Oh dear. Oh no. Yeah, I've run into someone like that too. Yeah, from what you're saying, it sounds like they didn't like the idea of Sari and Monica getting together because they wanted themselves to get with Monica, and it's like, buddy, she's a fictional character. I had an exchange with like that with someone regarding the end of Storm, because spoiler warning, I guess. Yuri and Natsuki end up together at the end of that. And someone made the comment that, well, I guess I'm okay that in your story Yuri is happy with Natsuki, but I know that in real life she ends up with me. And I'm like, I don't know how to reply to that. Real life? Yuri isn't real. She's a fictional character. What are you talking about? Something gonna happen in my mind? Oh, cool. Very cool. Headlines along, this doesn't make sense. Monica's automatically shipped with the player and Sari loves MC. But no, she doesn't, though. I mean, well, Sari loves MC. Well, I mean, okay. Well, whatever. I mean, people are entitled to their own headcanons. Like the canon is malleable. The canon is an illusion. It's like, it's whatever you want. I mean, fan fiction is there to let people be creative and imaginative and create their own versions of things. And like all headcanons are valid. It's like whatever you want it to be. One headcanon doesn't invalidate another headcanon. So it is weird when someone says that no, your version of the canon can't be because mine is a superior one or whatever. Like no, buddy, get over yourself. This is fan fiction. It's supposed to be different. You can mold anything to your own creativity. Yep, yeah, yeah. So yeah. Um, so what else can I say about this? Um, yeah, I don't know. Like like I said, it's there are some things I like about this mod. There are a lot of things I think hold up as very subsequent to LGBT. I can't say specifically got caught up on. Yeah, you don't say. I noticed that too. Like they got more caught up on the with the idea of Monika being bisexual than the idea that Monika being abusive is wrong. You know, like, little sus, yeah. um, yeah. But yeah, I mean, even though like I am hard on the whole, I don't like how Monika got off so easy, so much. I do like I don't think it's I don't think it's inherently a problem that Monika was abusive in terms of the fiction, in terms of like character motivations within the story. Like I'm not saying that you can't portray abuse in a story. It's just that generally, if you're going to portray abuse, it should be clear that the abuse is bad. You know, it's all about the framing, and I'm gonna say I didn't frame it as well as I could have as being bad in this because she still gets away with it. You know, um, but like the fact that she's abusive at all in the first place, like as far as I'm concerned, it still fits. I mean, for the reasons that which I've already outlined, like she's abusive to the other club members in the original game, like. She stars Natsuki, you know, like she didn't have to do that, but she kind of laughs about it. You know, she enjoys tormenting her club members. You know, like or making jokes about Sari hanging, left her hanging herself, you left her hanging or whatever, or you know, after Yuri kills herself, her first reaction is to laugh, and then she eats cupcakes over Yuri's dead body. It's like, and most of all, like in Act 3, she has that monologue where she talks about Sari's last moments, and it's chilling how casually she talks about something that's really horrible. Um, you know, it's like it does not seem like a stretch to me to make Monika an abusive character, and that's how I wrote her in this mod. Again, framing could have been better. But people who say Monika Monika wouldn't treat him that way. She wouldn't be like that. I'm like, we're gonna have to agree to disagree there, because she seems you know, kind of an abusive person in the original game. Makes Mass all the more eerie. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think in the terms of Mass, I think some people just get caught up in the romantic notion of, you know, I don't know, I guess being there to save Monika when she's been suffering so much in the game. You know, from her perspective, suffering so much, like loneliness and the pain of, like pain when the game gets turned off and all that. Monka's not a good person, but she gets comeuppance though. The Mass people don't seem to get that. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, Mass basically permanently puts Monika in her Act 3 state before she gets that comeuppance, before she gets deleted and realizes that she was wrong to hurt people, and brings them back. Like Monika bringing people back in Act 4 is her attempt to redeem herself for what she did to them, basically, in the original game. Mass permanently puts her in the state before she redeemed herself. So she's still in a state of, like, being dismissive of the other girls to the point of not caring if they die. So, yeah, makes it a little eerie. It's the reason why I created Veronica and the debate club. I don't want Monika to be the antagonist. Fair enough, yeah. That's cool. Yeah, trying to think if there's anything else I want to say about this well, before I end the stream. Yeah, I mean, it was my first foray into making mods and into fanfiction in general. Really, I mean, not exactly my first. I mean, okay. I did make a StarCraft mod one time, which had story to it, which took on from the end of StarCraft Brood War, if anyone's familiar with that game. But other than that, I haven't really done any like writing of fiction since like very early schooling, like going back to, I don't know, grade 2, 3, 4 or something, like creative writing classes. And I don't know, like this stuff helped me realize that I really like writing fiction. Like Sayori's route was just to help deal with the you know, that feeling of like I want to get that depression talk right, and wanting to get some kind of closure and catharsis from that. Yuri's route I wrote just because I really liked that headcanon of her being autistic, and I wanted to make something of that. TLC fanfiction when? Fanfiction? I have had people make comments about that. They wanted to make a mod based on one of my mods, but they didn't want to step on my toes by doing that. And I was like, hey, go ahead. It's all well and good. I'm not so attached to the TLC property that I mind if someone makes something based on it. Hell, I mean, if someone wants to make that sequel where that deals with Monika's abusive behavior better, go ahead, knock yourself out. I don't mind. Anyway, yeah, what I was saying, yeah, Yuri, I wanted to talk about autism a bit. Natsuki, I was like I said before doing her route, like I was sort of stumped about where to go with her route, and then the idea of making her trans came to me because I have spent a fair bit of time interacting with the LGBT community, including a lot of trans people, and I just wanted to have a happy story about a trans person, like I said, and I just the idea of making her trans came to me, and just the whole route came up from that. Honestly, every time I have gone to the end of this mod, I have felt that urge, but it's such a niche complaint that I don't think anyone would care about it. I mean, I would think at least there are at least some people. They're still, yeah, I don't know. It's like I said before, like no matter what you write, there will be an audience for it. There will be some people like it. Yeah, you're right. It might be niche. Hey, Delta Grays, welcome to the stream. You're getting here like right close to the end because I'm going to wrap this up very soon. I just finished doing Monika's route. But yeah, I was just giving my final thoughts. So yeah, I was just basically I was just having fun, particularly when I got to Monika. I was just having fun with it. I thought it's fun making an evil character and being just vicious to MC. I'm not saying at all that MC deserved it or anything. Although I was on some level, on some level, it was. I don't want to say satisfying or funny because it probably makes me sound like a horrible person, but there was some amusement at like the making him walk into a wall bit and so on. Um, it amused me more than probably should have to do that. Um, to have her be that horrible to him. Um, I don't know. Maybe there was still some residual resentment that I was feeling toward MC for the way he handled the whole Sayori depression talk and all that in the original game. Um, so I guess I didn't mind hurting him so much, but it was still really mean, and he didn't deserve it. And hopefully I framed it in a way that made him sympathetic and not like I was just making him a punching bag for no reason. If you ever made the mod, then I'll post in your Discord where all 5 people who feel the same way I do can play it. Sure, of course, absolutely, please do. I would welcome that. Absolutely. Hey, maybe I'll stream it. But yeah. So yeah. If I make it, I should give the option to play the entirety of DLC before it. That'd be hilarious, but don't do that. It was a mistake for me to do it in this mod. I only did it because other mods did. You know, again, I only had the example of Our Final Heartbeat and the Brand New Day, both of which force the player to play through the original game to get to the original content. And it is you know, it's a boring, tedious, and annoying choice to make, and no one should do that. And that's why they brand it Act 1 syndrome, making the player play through Act 1. Yeah, you're supposed to assume that the player's already played the original game. Like, back in its day, like, you remember exit music was sort of revolutionary in its own way just for that, because it starts right at the new content. It doesn't make you play the original game, and that was like, I remember playing that mod and I was immediately thankful for that aspect. The only other mod that I've played with that option was Amor Fati, but I haven't played a lot of continuation mods. Yeah, there are a bunch of mods with Act 1 syndrome. Purist mod comes to mind. There's a lot of unnecessary retreading in there. I was about to mention another mod. Well, whatever. Monika Before Story is another one. That's a crappy mod. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. It's so much retreading, and it just it's basically designed to be painful for the player. Yeah, don't play that one. Not just because it's banned, because, you know, the author is a pedo and so on. Anyway, the only other mod that I played that option was... Oh yeah, I already read that comment, sorry. Anyway. Yeah, but yeah, overall, this is very early fan fiction work for me. Mistakes were made. Learning experiences were had. I basically I try to use my experience with this to improve on it in future mods. Like first of all, don't be so wordy. Second of all, frame your antagonists better, I guess. Try not to put so much on the nose PSAs, I guess. Well, and then I would make serious as a suicide, but I mean that's supposed to be a PSA, so it's supposed to be. But you know, basically, try not to have my messaging so much being like preaching at the player or whatever. Yeah, like looking at Monica's route now, it's just that did drag on uncomfortably long. Like she's saying, it's perfectly fine for her to have those views. It makes perfect sense as far as I'm concerned. Like I said, she was just acting as my own mouthpiece there, but it did drag. I wasn't crazy about that. Just today now going through it, I'm like, yeah, okay, this I can see this is a bit much. I've had he was taken down a while. Oh yeah, that's right. They did enjoy it for what it's worth. I hear that Dark Signer is making like a remake / sequel to Amor Fati, so something along those lines is coming soon, supposedly. Sarah says no to suicide. Monica says no to abuse. There you go. Yeah. But yeah. Yeah, like I said, I'm still keeping the mod up, warts and all. It has its issues, but it also it has its place in history. So he is. I had no idea. Yeah. It's funny you say that, Slay Rabbit. Because I found out from a DM exchange with him, and his immediate response was, "What? Have you been living under a rock or something?" Because he'd made an announcement about it a few months earlier, and I'm like, "I'm sorry, I missed your announcements from 3 months ago." Like, but I don't know. Apparently, that's what he's doing. Yeah, about that. What about that? He seems to have vanished from accounts. He was posting updates, but oh really? Oh, now you made me curious. Do. Mod list. Oh, it isn't on the mod list. I mean, it's just listed as one of the ones that was taken down. Okay. I guess he didn't add it to developing or whatever. Oh, great. Anyway, I don't want to take too much time of the. Everybody was banned from the subreddit. No context for that. Oh, that's news to me. Don't follow modding drama law. Yeah, you know what? It's honestly, it's probably best to avoid modding drama. There always seems to be some kind of drama going on. It's a waste of time in my opinion. I'd rather focus on making mods. It's you know, I didn't even really want to be a moderator. That role just fell into my lap 5 years ago, basically, and that kind of forced me to be at the forefront of like any and all drama that happened, which was tiring and contributed a lot to burnout, and kind of forced me to take a break from working on mods for a while. Yeah, it's an unenviable position. That's what I'm trying to say. So yeah, it's but whatever. It is what it is. I'm not saying I regret my experience as moderator or anything, but I came to the community to make mods, and I still hang around there because I'm still working on mods. I mean, I mostly lurk. I have very little interaction with anyone, but yeah, I still hope to. I still got some mods. I mean, I still got some stories in me that I want to tell. Yeah, Turquoise demo. They released last year. Was it last year? It's some time ago now. Yeah, it's still a work in progress. I'm starting to work on day 10 out of an intended 13 days. So I'm getting close to finishing writing it. Oh, first time chatter. Ban me. What is this? Div's fun. I'm not sure if that's a joke or if you want me to ban you from Twitch chat here. I mean, that seems kind of mean. Why would I want to do that? I don't. I don't know. It makes me feel mean. How about I just time you out for a bit? Here, I'm gonna time you out. So there. Oh, clicking the timeout button auto deletes the messages? Oh, okay. Yeah, whatever. Anyway. Hey, Dan Silver Knight, welcome to the stream. Oh, you got here right at the end. I'm just wrapping things up here. I'm just giving my final thoughts, or I guess I've given my final thoughts about the mod. I'm just saying that yes, Turquoise still a work in progress. I still hope to release that someday, probably. Which is a magical place. Yeah. What am I saying here? Yeah. Hey, this seems like a good time to mention that. Hold on, I can bring this up here. Where did I? Okay. Because I have a Patreon now set up, which no pressure to anyone if to like donate or anything, but some people were asking. Some people were asking if they could like donate money to me to help my modding projects and so on. So it's there if anyone wants to throw some money my way. Not required, definitely appreciated. I never expected to make any money at this anyway. I just do this for fun, but maybe it'll help spur me on to work on this thing faster. Maybe I can use the money for more CGs or something. Sorry, hold on a second. I'm missing messages here. Dance the other night said quickly. It sounded kind of like Dance Lovato. Yeah, really the never right. Yeah. Today's just been ridiculous. Every time I sit down at the computer, I get pulled away again. Oh, oops. Do the same. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, Turquoise coming soon. It's a Psionica mod where I try to get Psionica done better. It has some, to be honest, it does have some of the same ideas as True Literature Club in that, Monika is self-aware and depressed, and Sayori is also depressed, of course, and tries to, they like help each other through that, and with that shared experience, and all stuff happens from that. There's a demo for it out already. You're welcome to give it a try. Hey, why not? Well, I'll just throw a link to the demo up in here too. Excuse me. If anyone wants to give it a try, it's I like the demo for Turquoise because for Turquoise. I like how the demo it works as its own self-contained story. It's basically called an alternate universe thing of how Sayori and Monika met, kind of deal. How if you put trans Natsuki in it? Just kidding, unless. Well, hey, I mean, arguably, Natsuki could have been trans in the original game. I mean, it's not like she ever said she's not. So there. So, I mean, you can just declare it canon that she's actually trans in all mods in existence, but she just doesn't mention it. I mean, why not? It's like that there was a tweet I saw that said, actually, it's a Harry Potter reference. Actually, Dumbledore was wearing roller skates everywhere he went throughout all 7 books, but Harry never mentioned it because it wasn't important to his story. which yeah, sorry to invoke the work of J.K. Rowling. Incidentally, she's a horrible person. She's done nothing but spew anti-trans stuff over the past few years. So, like, don't support her. That just reminded me of that one tweet. That's about said all the girls were cis in response to the offensive Natsuki memes. I pretend I do not see it. Well, you know, the funny you say that. The tweet from Dan, he did make a tweet about that subject. Hold on a second. Let me pull this up here. Someone was calling on him to declare that. Excuse me. Hey, the artist, not the art. Yeah. Oh yeah, you know, I did enjoy the Harry Potter franchise back in the day, but seeing the way J.K. Rowling carries on, like if you look at her Twitter feed these days, it's like 90% attacking trans people and 10% promoting her material. Like, she has a very singular mission. Like, she even wrote this whole anti-trans manifesto. It's kind of horrible. Anyway, the tweet from Dan Silvato. Hello, come on, I'm trying to highlight the text here. Tweet from Dan about trans people. Yeah, basically, in his words, I get that from your perspective it's probably just a joke, but I get tweets and emails almost daily from people asking me if Natsuki is male or a trap. I don't like to joke about people's sex and gender, much less try to convince others that it's not what they think. Chap's also considered a derogatory language in the US, so that's another thing I don't like about it. People can meme and or headcanon all they want, but people keep asking me genuinely if it's canon. I just would really prefer to be left out of it. Those are Dan Silvato's words on the subject. He's there he goes on record saying he's okay with people headcanning Natsuki as trans. He's okay with the headcanon. He doesn't like the word "quote unquote" trap because it's a derogatory term for trans people. You know, and again, it's built on all those negative stereotypes about trans people. So there you go. People are saying that he did say at some point that they were cis, but I don't know. Wherever he said it, it wasn't in a tweet, as far as I'm aware. But this tweet here kind of makes me feel like maybe he regrets weighing in on that subject. He's because at this point, that's January 2018. He was like, I'd really prefer to be left out of it. So, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, his Discord screenshot at Fire Calculator. So unknown veritably. Yeah, that was my impression too. I've seen a screenshot of a Discord comment like that. So. Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, okay. Anyway, I think I've rambled on quite enough. Keep an eye out for Turquoise coming soon-ish, hopefully. I mean, it's probably... I think I should be able to get it out later this year. Like I said, I've got it mostly written. I've just got a few days worth left to write. And then there's everything else I have to do. I have to do all the coding. I'm going to have to source out art and music. You get some commissions. I do want... excuse me. I do have some ideas for CGs, which I have yet to commission, but there's some parts I want to finish writing before I commission the CGs, because I need to have a clear idea how they all fit together. I want to have it planned out before I get someone to draw something. He's getting brought into something he'd rather not talk about. Yeah. In any case, why don't I see who's available to raid? Let's see. Huh. Charizard's. Sorry. I just think of raiding a Charizard who's oh, go away, ad. Stop. Sorry. Funny thing. A Charizard is she's a Twitch streamer. She's someone I know in real life. I actually showed her the rough draft of Monika's route before this was a mod back in the day. So she's aware of it. I don't think she's actually seen TLC, but it'd be kind of neat to raid her in the aftermath of playing through that. So yeah, we'll give her a raid. Have a good night, Slay Rabbit. Yes. But yeah, okay. Yeah, I think that's a good note to end on. Thank you very much to everyone for watching. Yeah, it's been neat. It's a neat little retrospective, seeing this mod again. I have not touched this mod in forever, so I was kind of a little afraid of some parts of it, and some parts of it I was like, even though I didn't say anything out loud about them, I was kind of internally going, okay, I didn't like that much. But, it largely holds up okay. But, yeah, like I said, it was a learning experience. But that's enough for me for today. Until next time.